Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime on this Wednesday with episodes of I Was a Communist for the FBI starring Dana Andrews, Dick Kollmar as Boston Blackie, an episode of The Saint starring Vincent Price, Calling All Cars, and we wrap it up with Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt. Yeah, that's what's coming up on this Wednesday, and you know what that means. This is the 30th day of April, 120th day of the year, and we have 245 days left in 2025. In 1492, Spain gave Christopher Columbus his commission of exploration, so he could sail the ocean blue. On the balcony of Federal Hall on Wall Street in New York City on this date in 1789, George Washington took the oath of office to become the first elected president of the United States. In 1803, the U.S. purchased Louisiana Territory from France for $15 million, more than doubling overnight the size of the young nation. That $15 million more than $424 million today. The territory of Orleans became the 18th state of the Union on this date in 1812 under the name Louisiana. In 1894, Coxey's Army, a group of unemployed workers led by Ohio businessman Jacob Coxey, no relation at all, reached Washington to protest the unemployment caused by the Panic of 1893. In 1900, Hawaii became a territory of the U.S. with Sanford B. Dole, the lawyer son of American missionaries, as governor. Casey Jones died in a train wreck in Bond, Mississippi on this date in 1900 while trying to make up time on the Cannonball Express. In 1904, the Louisiana Purchase Exposition World's Fair opened in St. Louis. 1925, automaker Dodge Brothers Incorporated sold to Dillon Reed and Company for $146 million plus another $50 million for charity. That $146 million purchase price, not including the $50 million for charity additional, but that $146 million over $5.3 billion with a B today. Yeah. In 1938, the animated cartoon short Porky's Hare Hunt debuted in movie theaters, including one Happy Rabbit.
You must be. Go get him, Zero. Get that rabbit.
Happy Rabbit, voiced by Mel Blanc, would eventually be retooled to be Bugs Bunny. The 1939 New York World's Fair opened on this date. On that same date in 1939, RCA-owned NBC began regularly scheduled television service from its New York station with those opening ceremonies. And on that ceremony was President Roosevelt, who became the first president to appear on television.
This is London calling. Here is a news flash. The German radio has just announced that Hitler is dead.
The BBC announcing Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun had committed suicide on this date in 1945 after being married for a single day.
Wir wollen jetzt einmal ganz eiskalt und nüchtern die Interessen unseres Volkes verteidigen. 15 Jahre lang hat der Deutsche mit Weltbürgerei geträumt. Was hat er gehabt? Gar nichts. Hat sich die Welt um ihn gekümmert? Das ist ja so lächerlich. Lasse mich nicht von diesem...
A recording of one of Hitler's last speeches, Hitler committing suicide on this date in 1945. There are all the jokes that can be said. It was so bad to deal with that they were married for one day and then he committed suicide. You know, it could be said that, but it did happen on this date in 1945. In 1947, the Boulder Dam in Nevada, officially renamed Hoover Dam, which was its original name, by the way. In Colombia, on this date in 1948, the Organizations of American States was established. And on this date in 1973, President Richard Nixon announced top White House aides H.R. Haldeman, John Ehrlichman, and others resigned.
I will not place the blame on subordinates. on people whose zeal exceeded their judgment and who may have done wrong in a cause they deeply believe to be right. In any organization, the man at the top must bear the responsibility. That responsibility, therefore, belongs here, in this office. I accept it.
Nixon himself would resign following articles of impeachment being voted out of the House 1 year later. It was on this date in 1975. I remember this date well. I was in a radio studio when I heard 10 bells come from an Associated Press wire machine and the words coming out, "South Vietnam has fallen." Communist forces on this date in 1975 gained control of Saigon. The Vietnam War formally ended with the unconditional surrender of South Vietnamese President Nguyen Van Minh. In 1984, President Reagan concluded his 6-day trip to China at a banquet hosted by the mayor of Shanghai.
My trip to China has been as important and as enlightening as any I've taken as president.
During the trip, President Reagan formalized new agreements with Peking on scientific and cultural exchanges, economic cooperation, and the development of nuclear energy. The World Wide Web, born at CERN on this date in 1993, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. One of the weirdest stories I ever covered during a and the way it resolved itself is even weirder. In 1993, during a tennis match between #1 female tennis player Monica Seles and Magdalena Maleva in Germany, Günter Parsch plunged a steak knife between Seles' shoulder blades.
Bitte sofort einen Arzt auf den Platz.
Seles was out of competitive tennis for over 2 years because of that attack. Parsch was an obsessed fan of Steffi Graf. He wanted to take Seles out of action, and she never did compete at the same level again. His punishment? A 2-year suspended prison sentence. Like I said, weird. 1995, President Clinton became the first president to visit Northern Ireland. In 1997, in an episode of her television program, the character that Ellen DeGeneres played on the show came out as gay.
Why can't I just say the truth? I mean, be who I am. I'm 35 years old. I'm so afraid to tell people. I mean, Susan, I'm gay.
DeGeneres had come out as gay 3 months earlier on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Chrysler filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on this date in 2009, and in 2015, Bernie Sanders entered the presidential race.
This is the debate over major issues facing the American people, honest people.
Now, in the 2016 election, I really wanted Bernie to go up against Donald Trump. I really did, because I thought it would lead to some amazing debates, if not hilarious debates. And it seemed to me at the time that the Democrats had decided, no, it's Hillary's time, and Hillary lost. Hillary was totally unlikable. Bernie at least had a likability factor to him, but that's what happened. Okay, passing away on this date in history, Vice President Alvin W. Barkley, also the wonderful Agnes Moorehead, musician Muddy Waters, filmmaker Sergio Leone, what we used to call one of the kings of the spaghetti western as far as filmmakers go. Actor Tom Poston, very funny man. Ben E. King, Stand By Me. Chewbacca in the Star Wars movies, Peter Mayhew, and singer-songwriter Naomi Judd, all passing away on this date in history. Birthdays include the companion of Gertrude Stein, Alice B. Toklas, actress Eve Arden, so many wonderful roles, but primarily best remembered as R. Miss Brooks. Grandpa on the Munsters, Al Lewis, born on this date. musician Johnny Horton, The Battle of New Orleans, actress Cloris Leachman, and singer Bobby V. Wonderful song, Beautiful People, and actress Jill Clayburgh, all born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Turning to those who are still with us, a pair of actors from The Big Bang Theory, Johnny Galecki and Kunal Nayyar, both from The Big Bang Theory. Johnny Galecki turns 50, and Kunal Nayyar is 44.
We're so afraid of getting into trouble that we never do anything wrong.
It's because we're the good guys.
From The Big Bang Theory, Johnny Galecki, 50. He was also in Roseanne, by the way. And also Kunal Nayyar, 44 today. From Spider-Man and Bring It On, Kirsten Dunst is 43. Big cheerleader movie. Kirsten Dunst from Bring It On, 43 today. The Wonder Woman of the 2000s, Gal Gadot, is 40.
So I stay, I fight, and I give for the world I know can be.
Gal Gadot, 40 years old today. Those just a few of the people celebrating the last day of April as their birthday. If this is your birthday.
Hi, we're the 4 freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you.
And we'll start off by going back 72 years. Dana Andrews, I was a communist for the FBI, and I can't sleep. That's up first here on this Wednesday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
A person-to-person expression of international goodwill. That's the way many prominent people, including President Truman and General Eisenhower, have described CARE, the agency that sends needed food packages overseas. CARE offers food and clothing packages which provide more per dollar than individuals can send any other way. Each food package is designed to supplement the rations of a family of 4 for 1 month. Orders placed in the United States are air-mailed to designated countries, and deliveries are made from local CARE warehouses. If you'd like to order a CARE package, just send $10 to CARE, New York. Give your name and address and specify to whom you're sending the package. On delivery, you receive a signed receipt.
Learn more about the missions of CARE going on today at care.org. That's care.org. Let's go back now 72 years, April 30th, 1953. Dana Andrews in I Was a Communist for the FBI.
I was a communist for the FBI. Starring Dana Andrews in an exciting tale of danger and espionage. I was a communist for the FBI. Many of the incidents in the story you are about to hear are based on the actual records and authentic experiences of Matt Cvetic, who for 9 fantastic years lived as a communist for the FBI. Here is our star, Dana Andrews, as Matt Cvetic. Burn a candle at both ends, and the candle lasts half as long. I did it for 9 years. For 9 years, I lived 2 lives as opposite as day and night. Life and death. Sometimes living a double life brings death just twice as close and closer. It did for me many times while I was a communist for the FBI. In a moment, listen to Dana Andrews as Matt Cvetic, Undercover Man. Here is Dana Andrews as Matt Cvetic, Undercover Man. This story from his confidential file is marked, I Can't Sleep.
Yes?
Mr. Baker, please, right away.
Who's calling, Mr. Baker?
Tom Roberts. Come on, get on it.
This is Baker. Go ahead.
I've got to see you right away. I'm heading for a conference with the Big Wheel, and if it's about what I think it is, I'd better talk to you.
Where are you calling from?
Drugstore phone booth.
Then let me do the talking. Do you think the meeting might be about Otto Janus?
They say it was suicide. I think it was murder.
Never mind what you think. Let the comrades think you believe it was suicide.
Was it?
Look, Matt, go to that conference with Buchek, but watch yourself. You may be in a tough spot.
I have a funny feeling I'm on the same spot Otto Janus was before he got here.
Go to the meeting, then meet me on the southwest corner of 9th and Viaduct.
Okay.
Watch yourself.
Watch yourself. I wonder as I walk toward Communist headquarters for my meeting with Joseph Buchek, was Otto Janus told to watch himself before they found him dead? My footsteps echo the cadence of a name familiar to Americans who read good books. Otto Janus. Otto Janus, author, critic. Otto Janus. Author Farewell Nero, author Citizen Slav, author Trumpet the Brave Country. History, immigrant, patriot, Communist Party member. Corpse. Found hanging pitifully in his hotel room in New York City. Why such an end to such a man? How? That's what Joseph Buchek wants to talk to me about. Little Joe. Very close to Big Joe himself in the Kremlin. Watch yourself, Cvetic.
Comrade Cvetic, I have work for you.
Always ready, comrade, as you know.
As you know, the party has just suffered a great loss in the tragic death of the head of our Slovene Bureau in New York.
We were all shocked to hear about Comrade Janus.
Found hanging in his hotel room.
No.
Tragic.
The papers say suicide.
The capitalist press says suicide while it implies murder.
They seem to implicate the party.
As only they can.
Well, the answer is to prove that it was suicide.
As only we can. Your assignment, Comrade Cvetic, is to go to New York and establish that Comrade Janus hanged himself. After all, why should we murder one of our most trusted comrades? Yes, Cvetic?
When do I leave?
I asked you.
Why, it's manifestly ridiculous to think we made away with Janus. As you say, why should we?
Unless he was an FBI agent, which I am sure he was not. You leave tonight.
I'd better wire for a hotel reservation.
A reservation is ready for you. The Santa Braddock Hotel.
May I ask, just how do I go about proving that Otto Janus killed himself, if the police are in doubt?
You will receive instructions in New York.
Very well.
Where you will deliver 3 separate addresses to the meeting of the press committees on newspaper propaganda.
I'm to stay 3 days in New York?
Where you will also report to the Slovene Bureau as the new acting chief.
Me? Replace Otto Janus?
Why not? You knew him. You sometimes checked his manuscripts for political reliability. You're one of his nationality. What is more natural than that you should succeed our mourned comrade? Temporarily.
So the meeting was about Otto Janus, eh, Matt?
Yeah. Can the FBI answer a big question for me?
I don't know, Cvetic. What's the question?
Was Janus an undercover agent, like myself?
I can't answer that.
Why are they really sending me to New York?
We want to know, too. We'll give you all the help we can. Watch yourself, Cvetic.
I try to sleep, sitting up on the night coach to New York, thinking, did Otto Janus wear 2 faces like myself? How did he die? Suicide or cleverly disguised murder? Over and over again, round and around. I can't sleep. And then, mercifully, I do fall asleep. Get over.
Hey, how's that, stranger?
Janus. Otto Janus.
Yeah. Get off my shoulder, huh?
Yes. Suicide.
Hey.
Suicide.
Hey, fella, wake up.
Butchers. Butchers. Butchers.
Hey, wake up, guy, will you?
Huh? What?
You always talk in your sleep.
Talk. What did I say?
I don't know. Butchers or something.
What else? What else?
I don't know. Just mumbling, I guess, from butchers.
Oh.
Hey, what's the matter? You got a beef against butchers?
Not that I know of. Oh. Excuse me, will you?
Don't leave me keep you awake.
That's all right. I've had enough sleep. Plenty. I sit up tensely all night. I never used to talk in my sleep. Maybe it's beginning to get me. In the morning, bleary-eyed and stubble-chinned, I check into the hotel in New York. It's a nice double room with twin beds, an unusual extravagance for the party. But I'm a big man now. I don't wait to unpack before I pick up the phone to check with Communist headquarters. Report in. Operator, will you give me Sheridan 371? Never mind that number, operator, thanks. Yeah, come in.
Cvetic?
Yes, who are you?
Who am I? Word, look at these suitcases. I'm your dormitory mate, that's who I am.
Dormitory mate?
Carp. Comrade Carp, with a K.
I wasn't told I'd have a roommate when I got here.
I'm attending the press committee's meeting, same as you, comrade. I gotta use the telephone. Excuse me. Hello, operator.
Wait a minute. Hang up.
Well, I've got a report.
Hang up.
I like you, comrade. I like you. You don't take no for an answer.
I want to know more about you before I split a room with you.
Yeah, well, Carp is the name.
With a K, I know. And that's all I know so far.
That's why I'm calling headquarters, comrade. So we can both check on each other. Huh? You see? Hey, wage slave. How about Sheridan 37115?
I sit on one of the beds as Carp, with a K, talks to Communist headquarters and establishes beyond question his right to be here. Then I report and get my orders for the day. While I talk, I size up Carp. I study his luggage. And all at once, the cold sweat starts all over my body. One piece of luggage is a battered suitcase, but the other is a big, powerful tape sound recorder. I finish my call and hang up frozenly. A sound recorder. Why? I'm going to spend 3 nights in this room with Comrade Carp, and I'm the undercover boy who's taken lately to talking in his sleep. And all at once, I wonder who the man beside me in the train was. Was he sent to watch me too? Did he tip off the party to send Comrade Carp to haunt me with a tape recorder? I don't know. I don't know. Or don't I?
So you're Comrade Cvetic, eh? Tell me you were a friend of Autogenis.
A comrade is more like it, in the strict party sense only.
Why do you suppose he bumped himself off anyway?
That's what I'm here to find out.
How are you going to get it to fax?
Comrade Buchek said I'd receive instructions how to proceed when I got here.
Yeah. You're getting your instructions now, comrade. Your instructions are that Comrade Autogenis committed suicide.
I understand.
You were here to meet with the press committees this afternoon to plan the spreading of that fact among the Slav element in America.
Give me the line on Janis, then.
All right, he was a sensitive artist. He was in ill health. He'd been worrying about the precipice of chaos and war to which capitalistic aggression was leading his beloved adopted country.
All right. I wish Buchek had been more specific with me, that's all.
So Comrade Buchek was specific with me, and I'm specific with you. Same difference.
Comrade.
Yeah?
What's the tape recorder for?
Oh, that? Record the minutes of the meeting. Copy them down later. Why?
Oh, well, I'm sort of a high-fidelity sound hobbyist myself. That's a good machine.
Yeah, sensitive as the human ear. And it works while you sleep. Yeah.
What do you mean? Works while you sleep?
Hey, wait a minute, you kidding? Think I'm going to stay awake during all that palaver if I can grab 40 winks while this machine listens in?
Good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to grab some sleep right now, immediately and at once.
Yeah. Me too, comrade. I'm tired, all right. Dead dog tired, and I'd love to sleep. But I can't. I've become an unstable character who wakes up screaming beside strangers in railroad coaches. I'm the man with two faces, a communist for the FBI, opening slightly at the seams. I've got 3 nights ahead of me in New York, with Comrade Carp in the same room with me, listening. And if he doesn't listen, that sensitive machine has ears. Oh, yeah. I'm dead, dog-tired. I don't dare sleep for 3 more whole days and nights. Suppose I talk. I don't dare sleep.
Back to Dana Andrews, starring in I Was a Communist for the FBI, and the second act of our story.
The war of nerves is on. One night up on the train, last night's sleeplessness. 2 more endless nights ahead of me, and never out of sight of the comrades so I can snatch a moment's sleep. I can't last through that. Nobody can. Only, I've got to. 2 in the morning. The second night. I'm fighting off sleep like some overpowering drug. Carp, jolly comrade, is sleeping lightly. But sleeping. He sleeps. When he gets too tired to sleep lightly, he'll plug in that tape recorder and sleep heavily. Sure. 3 o'clock. And I can't take this anymore. I can't stay awake. I've got to do something or go mad or kill myself. Something. Operator, give me room service. No, give me the drugstore. Yeah, thanks. Hello, drugstore? Look. I know there's a kind of tablet, a tablet they take when they want to stay awake on long drives, you know? I said there's a kind of tablet. I can't speak any louder. I might wake up my partner. I said, have you got those stay-awake tablets they use when...
Hey, Cvetic.
Oh, never mind then. Thanks anyhow.
Hey, who are you talking to there, Cvetic?
Drugstore, that's all.
Yeah? What time is it?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Yeah, I can't sleep. I asked him to send up some sleeping pills.
Sleeping pills?
Yeah.
Sleeping pills?
Yeah. Why?
Why? Don't you know you can't buy those things without a doctor's prescription?
Oh, yeah, sure. So the pharmacist told me.
Relax. Take yourself a glass of lukewarm water. Let yourself go limp and relax.
Okay, I'll try that.
You'll sleep.
Thanks, comrade.
You betcha. Night. Hey, Cvetic. Time to get up.
Yeah.
Rise and shine.
One of those cheerful risers, aren't you?
Trying to get some sleep, comrade?
Some.
Atta boy. And I'll be out of here in 2 shakes. Cvetic? Hey, Cvetic, wake up.
I wasn't asleep.
Come on, arise and shine, boy. Arise and shine.
managed to stumble and mumble through my work during the day. All day into the evening, part of the night, finishing up our stay. Work, a party. Down with them and up with us. Up. Up. I've been up. I've been up 3 days and 3 nights now. I can't see straight. I don't know if I can take it again. And I can't shake the comrades to steal an hour's sleep somewhere. I want to scream at them. I want to yell at them to go away and leave me alone. Let me sleep or I'll go crazy or I'll... Rather than fall asleep and talk, kill myself. 4th night. Agony. No. Okay. Let me go. Let me go. FBI. I hate the FBI. I hate them. I hate them. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. I sit up in bed. I've been asleep. And I've talked. I know I've talked. I heard myself. I woke myself up with it. FBI, I said. I heard it. Did he? I looked over at Carp, a jolly comrade. He's asleep, but his mechanical stooge isn't. Carp's limp hand is wound round a toggle switch, and the wire leads under the bed to the sound recorder. With my sleep talking on the tape. There's only one thing to do. I do it. Creep out of bed, belly close to the floor. Slither under Carp's bed. Stop the recorder. Erase the sound from the tape magnetically. Wait an eternity for the reel to wind back and erase the tape. Carp tosses in his sleep. I freeze. Silence again. Then, carefully, I start the recorder normally again. Creep back into my bed. This time, Cvetic. This time, keep awake if it kills you. Because if you don't keep awake, it may kill you too.
Get that, Cvetic.
You get it.
Get it.
All right. Okay. Yeah?
Tom Roberts?
You've got the wrong room.
No, this is Mr. Baker from out of town.
Baker?
Try to meet me in front of the main library on 5th Avenue, understand?
I heard you, yes. There's no Roberts here, and I don't know a Mr. Baker. You've got the wrong room. Goodbye. The party work is done by noon. Getting away to meet Baker's easy now. I find him sitting on the steps of the library near one of the marble lions. Hometown boy, am I glad to see you. We don't talk. We take a cab and go to an office in the West 40s. And there, Baker unlimbers a portable recorder of his own. Starts it rolling.
That sound familiar to you?
Just a lot of traffic noises far away.
The FBI here knew about the meeting and which room you have. We wired the room the first night you arrived.
What did you find out, if anything?
Listen.
Oh, well, I know that sound by now.
Oh. Look here. Let me go. Let me go.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, that's you, all right.
FBI. FBI. I hate the FBI. I hate them. I hate them. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go.
Cut.
You picked that up last night?
You talked in your sleep.
I know. I tried to stay awake, but I couldn't.
It just so happens that you couldn't have said anything more in your favor if your roommate overheard you.
He didn't. His tape recorder did. And to think I crawled under Karp's bed to erase that stuff. They'd have loved me in the Kremlin.
You erased it?
Well, how did I know what I'd babbled in my sleep?
And you started the machine again?
Naturally.
Cvetic, look alive.
What's the matter?
Karp knows when he started that machine. When he hears the clock on that tape striking 3 and 4, he'll know the tape was erased and started over again. He'll know who did it and why you did it, and suspect the worst.
Fine.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We've taken the room next to yours. If anything happens, we'll try to help you.
Thanks.
I said we'll try.
Thanks. So long, Baker.
Oh, come in, comrade, come in. Just running off some tape I exposed last night.
That's so?
Yeah, I don't know what I caught. So far, nothing.
What did you expect to catch?
Yeah, all I got is traffic from outside. Oh, wait. Yeah. Steeple clock.
I watch Karp's rapt face as the clock on the tape strikes 3. He keeps on smiling. But I know these people, the comrades. I know them so well that I know the verdict on Otto Janus's death. Suicide. I know that he, too, must have been on the spot and chose suicide rather than endure the maddening torture the comrades could inflict. I knew Otto Janus hanged himself because I almost came to that. Verdict, suicide. Mission accomplished.
Boy, there's a real late sailing. Ship held up with the fog, likely.
Probably.
You know, these things are a lot of use. A lot of fun, too, Cvetic.
And then, all at once, the truth hits me. I know that the clock chiming 3 on the tape when it shouldn't chime more than 2 hasn't rung any bells with Comrade Karp. And I know something else, and know it right. And that is that the myth of the new Soviet man's wit and cunning is a myth. We can be as smart as they are, and they can be as dense as we are, any time of the day or in the dead of the night. So long, Comrade Karp.
Hey, where to, comrade? Hey, Wade, how about 40 winks before we catch the train back?
Oh, me? I feel fine. I'm going for a walk. I don't know if Otto Janus was an FBI agent playing communist, like myself, or not. I think the comrades thought so and gave him some treatment like my own, and he killed himself rather than take it anymore. At least that's my conclusion. It makes me think. Walk carefully, Cvetic. Walk carefully and walk alone. It might have been you.
Our star, Dana Andrews, will return in a moment.
This is Dana Andrews. The story you've just heard is just one of many that make the life of an undercover agent exciting and adventurous from a nice, safe distance. For obvious reasons, names, dates, and places have been changed, but our stories are based on the real-life experiences of Matt Cvetic. Next week, we open his file for another exciting adventure. Join us then, won't you?
72 years ago, April 30th, 1953, I was a communist for the FBI here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Another great syndicated show from, this I believe was from Mutual, and that is Dick Kollmar starring as Boston Blackie, and that's coming up next.
Not all careless drivers have accidents, but many such careless drivers cause accidents. A woman driver who drives slowly down Main Street while doing a little window shopping is a menace. So is the man who insists on telling the people in the back seat of his car about his poker game last week. It's no wonder that ordinarily cautious drivers start to lose their tempers and take dangerous chances to pass these careless drivers. When an accident results, the person who caused the accident probably won't even be touched. So the National Safety Council says if you want to window shop, get out and walk. If you are too busy describing one of your sterling feats to pay any attention to traffic, get out and walk. The driver's license you have does not give you the right to endanger the lives of your passengers or other human beings. Driving can be dangerous. Keep your mind on what you're doing, or walk.
Dick Kollmar, more related to not just Broadway, because he was a Broadway producer and actor, but he was also the wife of a prominent newspaper woman, Dorothy Kilgallen, who most of us remember more from her role being on television in the television quiz show, What's My Line? And so we will hear Dick Kollmar as Boston Blackie. 79 years ago, April 30th, 1946, the Francis Fielding murder case.
Operator.
Operator, get me the police.
1 moment, please.
22nd Precinct, Sergeant Mulvaney speaking.
Sergeant Mulvaney, this is Dr. Lester Allen.
Yes, Doc, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm in a house at 1110 Dale Avenue. There's been a murder here.
A murder? Well, don't touch anything, don't move anything. We'll be right over.
All right, Sergeant.
Who's the victim, Doctor?
The victim was a patient of mine, Miss Frances Fielding. I'm a psychiatrist, sir.
Do you know how she was killed or who killed her?
She was shot. It looks like murder because when I found her just now, the gun was much too far from her body for this to be suicide.
Well, just sit tight, Doc. We'll be right over.
Sergeant, I wonder...
Yeah, Doc?
Oh, nothing. I suppose it's much too irregular.
I think I know what you're getting at, Doc. You know a couple of newspaper men will come along with us. You don't want the publicity.
No. Frankly, I don't.
Well, I tell you what, Dr. Allen. I know who you are, all right. Go back to your office and stay there. We'll be up to talk to you later. Might have to ask you a few questions.
Of course, Sergeant. I'm sure I can answer them to your complete satisfaction.
And now meet Dick Kollmar as Boston Blackie. Enemy to those who make him an enemy. Friend to those who have no friend.
Here's your apartment, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Hold the meter, driver. Young lady's getting out here, but I'm going on.
Okay.
Blackie, look across the street.
Hey, looks like a sighting of some kind, Mary. Wonder what it is.
It is not for us.
I know, not... Hey, that police car over there, the one in front. That's Inspector Faraday's.
Oh, now I know what kind of excitement it is.
And that is for us. Come on. Here, driver, keep the change.
Thanks.
Come on, Mary.
Oh, golly, do we have to, Blackie?
Does water have to run downhill?
That was a foolish answer.
That's what a foolish question deserves, they tell me.
Okay, darling. There's Inspector Faraday coming out to his car.
Good. Now we won't have to waste time finding him. Hello, Faraday.
Who's that?
Who would you expect to turn up about this time?
Blackie, I might have known it was you.
Hello, Inspector Faraday. What are you doing in my neighborhood?
Hello, Miss Wesley. What's murder doing in your neighborhood?
Murder, Faraday?
Yeah, in that house there. Girl by the name of Frances Fielding.
Now, don't look at me, Faraday. Mary and I were at the Mercedes restaurant tonight, and I have a dozen witnesses to prove it.
The girl was killed about 8 o'clock. I suppose you were at the Mercedes then?
Yes, we were.
See anybody around here before you went to eat?
I didn't.
I didn't either. Oh, wait. I met Dr. Allen here. In fact, he went right into this house. He was going in to see a patient, he said. Remember, Mary?
Hey, that's right.
Dr. Allen, huh?
Dr. Lester Allen, a psychiatrist.
I think I'll go over and have a talk with him.
Faraday, you don't think that...
I do think, Blackie. That's something you don't give me credit for. That's something that's going to get you in trouble someday.
Someday.
I'll see you later, Blackie. Much later, I hope.
But, Faraday, you aren't going to pin this on Dr. Allen, are you?
Not unless he did it.
Well, he didn't. I've known him for years.
Well, then maybe that's why he did it. Knowing you has made him tired of going straight. I like that.
Do you, Inspector? Well, Dr. Allen's a nice guy, and if you're going to see him, I'm going with you. How do you like that?
Dr. Allen, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Of course, Inspector Faraday.
Give him routine answers, Doctor. He won't know the difference.
Quiet, Blackie. Dr. Allen, when was the last time you saw Frances Fielding alive?
This afternoon, here in my office.
Is that the last time you saw her?
Alive? Yes. I talked to her on the phone later. She called me. Told me she was terribly upset.
About what?
Well, she came to see me this afternoon for treatment. She was suffering from a neurosis. She was afraid she was going to kill herself.
Never mind about that neurosis stuff. Now, after Miss Fielding called this evening, what did you do?
I did as she asked. I went to see her.
So you admit you were there, do you?
Well, of course I do. In fact, Blackie saw me going in to see her.
That's why you're being questioned, Doctor. I had to open my big mouth.
Well, shut it, Blackie. Dr. Allen, you mean to tell me you went to the Fielding home, found Miss Fielding dead, and left without calling the police?
Look here, Inspector, I did call the police.
You called the police? Now, please, Doctor, don't give me that.
But I did. I talked to a Sergeant Mulvaney.
Mulvaney? There's no such sergeant at headquarters, and no call ever came into headquarters. I checked that.
I don't understand. This is absolutely fantastic.
Is it? If you talked to the police, why weren't you at the scene of the murder when the police arrived?
Why? Because the Sergeant Mulvaney said he knew me, and it would be all right if I waited for the police right here in my office.
You don't tell very good lies, Dr. Allen. And you don't tell them well, either. Come on, why did you kill her?
I didn't kill her. I never saw her before this afternoon.
Can you prove that, Doctor?
Well, I don't know. I might. My secretary, Miss Glenn, she might.
Get her in here, Blackie.
Sure.
You never saw Frances Fielding before this afternoon, huh?
No. My appointment book will prove it.
All right, Doctor. It isn't going to matter much, but I hope you're telling the truth for a change.
There she is.
Thanks, Blackie. Miss Glenn, when did Frances Fielding first have an appointment with Dr. Allen?
About 8 months ago, Inspector.
8 months? Miss Glenn.
8 months, huh?
That's not true, Inspector. Miss Glenn, what's the matter with you? You know I never saw that girl until she walked into my office this afternoon.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, Dr. Allen. Did I say something wrong?
You said something right, Miss Glenn.
Look here, Inspector. This whole thing is absolutely... Why, my appointment book shows she was here for the first time today.
It shows you saw her for the first time 8 months ago. Or Miss Glenn wouldn't say so.
I'm afraid it does, Doctor. Here's my book. See for yourself.
I'll take that book. You answer your phone, Doctor.
Thank you. Hello.
Dr. Lester Allen?
Yes.
Can you talk?
No, I can't talk to anyone now. Call me back in a few minutes.
Okay, I'll call back in a very few minutes.
Now listen, Inspector.
You listen, Doctor. You're not in a position to do much talking. You look like a murder suspect to me.
Faraday, you're all wrong.
Quiet, Blackie. I'm all right. The doctor's lying about the phone call to the police and about when he first met the dead girl. And I think that makes it look like maybe he killed her.
Motive, Faraday, motive. What was his motive?
I'll find one, don't worry. Don't leave town, Dr. Allen. I may want you to come down and see me sometime. Come on, Blackie. Let's go.
Wait, Blackie. I want to talk to you.
All right. See you later, Faraday.
I'm warning you, Blackie. You stay out of this.
Tell that to someone who hasn't solved most of your cases for you.
Miss Glenn, show Inspector Faraday the way out, will you?
Of course. Right this way, Inspector.
Doctor, I'm awfully sorry. In a way, I got you into this.
I'm not blaming you, Blackie. I understand all you did was say you saw me at Miss Fielding's house. What I don't... Oh. Excuse me. Hello?
Hello, Dr. Allen. Can you talk now?
Yes.
This is Roger Fielding, Frances Fielding's brother.
Oh, yes. Just a minute.
What's the matter, Doctor?
Blackie, this is Frances Fielding's brother. Should I talk to him?
Yes, but let me listen, too. Is there an extension I can use?
Yes, right there on that table.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and talk to him now.
Yes, Mr. Fielding, what is it?
You know what it is, Doc. It's about what you did to my sister.
What I did to her?
That's right, she's dead. Don't try to tell me you didn't kill her.
What makes you think I did?
Her little diary told me so.
What?
Just let me read you what it says here on one of the pages.
kept for a year, and you're on every page. This is 7 months ago. It says, I love Lester so, and he says he loves me. But I know one of these days he'll leave me to go back to his wife. I envy Mrs. Allen so, but I won't let him go. I just won't let him go.
Look here, I didn't even know your sister 7 months
and
ago.
listen to this, Doc. This is even better. Here's what it says on a page of her diary about a month ago. She wrote, Lester's throwing me over. I just know he is. And if he does, I'll go to Mrs. Allen with the truth. I'll tell her everything. Listen, Doc.
What?
I don't know why you killed my sister, but I got a rough idea. She sort of asked for it, didn't she?
Now, look.
You look, Doc. Maybe Sis got what was coming to her, but the cops got this diary coming to them. Unless you want it. And bad.
This is blackmail.
Is that what it is? I think I'm doing you a favor. Meet me at Dobbs Hill at 10 tomorrow night. And I kind of I like to do favors.
Hello. Hello.
It's no use, Doctor. He hung up.
Blackie, what do you think?
Well, Faraday broke down your story about calling the police and not meeting the dead girl until this afternoon and said all he needed to arrest you was a motive. What I just heard on the phone would pass as a motive, all right.
Blackie, you know I had nothing to do with this.
No? Well, Dr. Allen, either this is first-class frame-up or you're a third-degree liar.
Golly, Blackie. The Fielding home is spooky enough upstairs. Do we have to stay down here in the basement much longer?
Only until we find telephone wires that look as if they've been tampered with.
Okay.
What will that prove, Blackie?
Well, Doctor, when you made your call to the police, you got through to the operator all right, didn't you?
Yes.
A bit before you got the police, there was a long pause, huh?
Yes, quite long. Then a Sergeant Mulvaney answered.
But there's no such person on the force. You didn't talk to the police, but maybe to someone here in the basement.
Blackie, do you want wires that look as if they've been cut?
Or wires with tape on them, Mary, to cover a place where they've been scraped.
Well, here are 2 of them.
2 is what we want. Come on, Doctor.
Aren't you glad you brought me?
These are the wires we want, all right.
Can you tell if they've been tapped?
Easily. Just look at them. The wires have been separated, the insulation scraped off, then the bare wires taped together again.
Does this really prove the doctor's story about talking to a Sergeant Mulvaney?
Yes, Mary. And here's why. Whoever tricked the doctor into thinking he was talking to the police was down here when the doctor dialed the operator.
I did get the operator then. That was legitimate.
Oh, yes. But after you got the operator, there was a long pause, you said.
Yes, there was.
Blackie, Dr. Allen was cut off during that pause.
That's right, Mary. It was the man down here who took over his call to the police, probably asked them some foolish questions, then hung up on them.
Then the man switched the doctor back in and talked to him.
Exactly. And you, Dr. Allen, thought you were talking to the police, while all the time you were talking to the man down here.
Well, who was that man, though?
Francis Feeling's killer, probably.
I think I feel better already. You believe me now, don't you?
I think so. But we'll never convince Faraday you're innocent if he sees the dead girl's diary.
I've got to keep that meeting with her brother tonight.
Yes, but in the meantime, we'd better work on another angle.
What, Blackie?
The reason for the girl's death.
What would be a good reason?
Well, money, if it's enough. But enough or not, if we could find she carried insurance payable to someone who had a chance to kill her, that would be enough for me.
Now back to Boston Blackie. Psychiatrist Lester Allen receives a phone call from his new patient, Frances Fielding, to come to her home at once. He goes there, finds her murdered, and calls police. He is told to go back to his office. Inspector Faraday finds no record of Allen's call and believes him guilty. As we return to our story, Boston Blackie, who is with Mary and Dr. Allen, calls Faraday in search of a motive for the girl's murder.
Maybe this will work. At least it's worth a try.
Faraday speaking.
Hello, Faraday. This is Blackie.
Now what do you want?
The usual, Faraday, to give you a little help.
I'd rather have the measles.
Next week, Faraday. This week, I want to give you an angle on the Fielding murder. I think it's insurance.
Blackie, I don't know how I'd get along without you.
I do. Not very well.
You know, it's amazing that you'd think of insurance at a time like this.
What's amazing about it, Faraday? If you were any kind of a cop, you'd have thought about it long ago.
I thought of it last night. Is that long enough ago for you?
Well, Faraday, you're improving. What did you find out?
None of your business.
What are you doing, Faraday? Faking? I'll bet you don't know a thing about the Fielding girl's insurance. Bet you never even thought of it.
Oh, I didn't think of it, huh? Well, a copy of the policy is right here on my desk.
I don't believe it.
You don't, huh? All right, listen to this.
I'm listening.
She had an accident policy with $5,000 for accidental death.
Mm-hmm.
She took it out 2 years ago and collected on it 5 months ago for a broken arm. And now all the money from the policy goes to her grandmother in Mexico City.
Oh, her grandmother, huh?
Yes. And if you think her grandmother killed her, think again. Because she's a 97-year-old invalid and hasn't been out of Mexico City in 30 years. Well, wise guy, don't bother me with your bright ideas.
Faraday. Faraday!
He hang up on you, Blackie?
He sure did, Mary.
Was she killed for insurance?
No.
Oh, gee, so now what?
Now, Mary, you're going home to see a bed about some sleep, and Dr. Allen and I are going to Dobbs Hill to see a man about a diary. There's his car, parked on the other side of the road. Now, you stay down there in the back of your car.
You sure it's safe for you to go over and talk to him?
You sure this fellow's never seen you?
No, he's never seen me. At least I don't think so.
Well, I'd better go on over and talk to him before he gets suspicious. I'll try and sound as much like you as I can. Sit tight. Here I go.
All right. Good luck.
Roger Fielding?
Yeah. Dr. Allen?
Yes.
How are you, Doc?
I don't know. Let me see that diary.
Sure. Here you are. This is the original.
Thanks.
Don't bother trying to run off with it. I've got photostatic copies. Get me?
I got you.
I want you to notice something, Doc. She wrote in her diary every day. Every single day.
Yes, so I see.
And every day, every single day, she wrote about Doc Allen. Nice diary, huh?
Pretty incriminating.
Pretty valuable to me. It's her handwriting, and she kept it about a year.
Hold it. I want to compare the writing with the note she sent me asking for an appointment here.
All right.
Yeah. She wrote the diary, all right?
Sure she did. Now, I'm not asking much, Doc, only a little. Now.
And later?
A little more.
And after that?
Oh, whenever I get a little pushed for cash, then either you come across with the money like a nice guy, or I take this diary to the cops.
What for?
What for? It gives you a pretty good reason for killing her.
Yes, it does, Fielding. There's only one thing wrong with it.
What's that?
It's a phony.
A phony, huh? Well, let me tell you something.
What?
As a doc, you're a phony, too. The next time, tell Doc Allen he better show in person. Mr. Boston Blackie.
I'm still sorry I couldn't fool that guy, Doctor.
Well, it was a nice try, Blackie. Let's go into my office. Maybe we can think of something else.
We've got to, or Inspector Faraday will come running after you
I'm not
with
running, Blackie. I'm waiting.
Hello, Faraday.
Good evening, Inspector.
I'm sure glad to see you, Doctor. I was afraid you'd skip town.
No. All I did was drive out.
For a little air, Faraday. After that conversation with you last night, he needed it.
Quiet, Blackie. Dr. Allen, I'm taking you to headquarters.
What for?
Questioning.
Faraday, you can't do that. The doctor knows less about that girl's death than you do, if that's possible.
Well, I suppose you know all about it, huh?
I know you need a motive before you can really pin this on the doctor.
Give me time. I'll find one.
I'll save you time. I've already found it. A diary written by Francis Fielding and containing plenty of motive for murder.
Where?
Blackie.
Don't get excited, either of you. The diary's a phony.
A phony? How do you know?
Blackie, you know that diary's a counterfeit? How?
How? Very simple, Doctor. Faraday, do you remember the accident policy the Fielding girl had?
Sure. She collected on it, too, for a broken right arm. About, it was exactly 5 months ago.
Well, guess what was in Miss Fielding's diary 5 months ago?
Blank pages. Her arm was broken.
The pages weren't blank, Faraday. Her mind was. About that broken right arm. The day-to-day account continued 6 months ago, just as if her arm was perfectly all right.
Well, that does prove the diary was a counterfeit. It was probably written just recently, perhaps in the last few weeks.
That's exactly it, Doctor. She was so anxious to phony up a long-time love affair in a diary, she forgot she couldn't write 6 months ago.
All right, Blackie. So that diary was phony. So the diary was a frame. I suppose you think everything else about this case is a frame against the doctor, too.
Yes.
Who framed him?
I think the girl did it.
And killed herself to do it? That's a good one.
That's too good, Faraday. I can't figure out that part at all. But she was part of a frame against the doctor. That much I do know.
Look, will you quit trying to do my thinking for me?
Somebody has to. You don't.
I don't, huh? Well, Dr. Allen here says he met the Fielding girl for the first time yesterday, but his own appointment book shows he's been seeing her for 8 months. Explain that. I can't understand it.
I can. You were lying. Just as you were lying when you said you called the police.
He thought he did call them, Faraday.
What do you mean, thought he did?
Whoever killed Miss Fielding tapped the phone in her house and pretended to be the police.
Yeah? How do you know?
I did a very strange thing for me, Faraday. I investigated. And look, have you ever heard of Roger Fielding?
Roger Fielding. Roger Fielding sounds familiar.
How familiar?
I think he was arrested once. He served time, too.
What for?
I don't know, but I can find out.
Well, you find out why Roger Fielding was arrested. And if it's for what I hope it is, maybe I'll find out why you can arrest him again.
Who are you looking up in the phone book, Blackie?
Catherine Glenn, Mary, the doctor's secretary.
Why?
Well, Faraday found out that Roger Fielding used to work for the telephone company. Went to jail for stealing payphone collections. I knew he was responsible for this frame-up as soon as he flashed the phony diary, but I wanted to make sure.
Oh, I see. And when you found out he'd worked for the phone company at one time, you figured he knew how to tap the phone in his sister's house.
Right. Let me see here. Yeah, and only thing I have to prove now is that Catherine Glenn was working with Fielding. And of course, she phoned up Dr. Allen's appointment book. Ah, here's the number.
Darling, where's Dr. Allen now?
At headquarters, poor guy. Faraday wouldn't wait.
Oh. What are you going to say to Miss Glenn?
I'm going to pretend I'm Roger Fielding and see what she says to me.
Oh, again. Happy pretending.
Thanks.
Hello?
Okay, this is Roger.
Roger who?
You don't know?
I think I do, but
Look,
then...
I have to see you.
What about?
Just to check on a few things.
Such as...
You ought to know.
I ought to know who you are, but I don't.
You don't?
No. Unless you couldn't be Boston Blackie by any chance.
What happened?
Nothing. She knew who I was. I'm not very good at fooling people tonight, apparently.
Darling, you never were very good at fooling me.
I was never trying to pin a murder on you.
I have never given you the chance, though.
Well, Fielding and Miss Glenn have. And I'm going to take it, too. There's just one more thing I can do.
Hello.
Roger,
Yes?
this is Kay Glenn.
What's the idea of calling me?
Look, I'm scared.
About what?
I don't want to tell you over the phone. I better wait till I see you.
What's the matter?
I'll tell you later.
All right.
Can you come right away?
Yes.
Well, hurry before it's too late. Oh, come in, Roger.
What's up, Kay? What's the trouble?
Wait till I lock the door.
Kind of jumpy, kid. What's the matter?
Nothing. I just want to talk to you.
What about?
About how things are going.
You know the answer to that yourself. Great.
But I'm upset.
Why?
Because of Frances.
Why be upset about her?
Because... Roger, why didn't you tell me you were going to kill her? That's what I'm really upset about.
That? Well, I didn't see any point in telling you about that. Or Frances either, of course. In fact, it was sort of a spur-of-the-moment thing. I double-crossed Frances, who never even dreamed she'd be murdered when she first came along with that plan. I thought it would make a better frame against the doctor.
A better one? What was wrong with your first idea?
Nothing. I suppose we could have shaken him down for plenty with Frances's diary and the appointment book you fixed up.
Then why did you have to kill Frances?
2 reasons. It put the doc in a worse spot, and we only have to split 2 ways instead of 3, so I killed it.
Well, I want nothing to do with murder. I'm going to the police.
Oh, no, you're not. I killed Francis to make the frame against the doc a good one, and I could kill you and make it perfect. You go to the police, will you? No, you won't. You won't. I'm calling a cop. I'll fix you so you don't call.
You called the wrong man, Kay. I got here first.
Oh, thanks, Blackie. He was going to choke me.
You can come out now, Faraday. The danger's over.
Very funny.
I had to slip up behind Fielding and slug him, or he'd have choked Miss Glenn here.
Yeah, I know. I heard plenty before you clipped him.
I guess you did it that, Faraday. You know, I just couldn't get along without you. What would I do for laughs?
You'd look in the mirror. Well, I gotta revive this guy now and get him down to headquarters. Come on, you.
I suppose I'm going to headquarters, too.
Yes, Miss Glenn. But I don't think you'll get what Fielding is going to get. You did a good job working with me after Francis was killed. It was your cooperation that helped us break this case.
Oh, I did my best, Blackie. I had to. When I first got into this, there was no talk about killing Francis Fielding. I'm glad Dr. Allen's name is clear. Really, I am.
I think the police will believe you, Miss Glenn. Oh, well, for his frame-up against Lester Allen, M.D., Fielding's name from now on is M.U.D.
You know, I never said the writing was pristine, but it was a good detective show for what it was. Dick Kollmar is Boston Blackie, 79 years ago today, April 30th, 1946, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up on our Thursday show, we'll get to comedy with Jack Benny and an episode from the final season. In fact, I think there were 3 episodes after this. Love Letters from 1955. Father Knows Best starring Robert Young from 1952. Screen Director's Playhouse, The Trouble with Women. And an episode of Mr. Ace and Jane. And it's crazy. And we'll wrap it all up with another episode of Lum and Abner. We'll talk more about what's coming up the rest of the week in a few minutes here. But right now, we're going to get to Vincent Price as the Saint.
What are your dreams for 10 years from now? Perhaps you'd like to travel abroad. In 10 years, comfortable tourist accommodations will certainly be available. This also applies if your travel plans are along the lines of see America first. If you're wondering how you can be sure of having the money at that time, buy savings bonds. Perhaps you haven't been considering travel. Well, if you've been counting on future leisure time or a college education for your children, a farm or business of your own, a retirement income or a home of your own, the solution is still the same. Buy savings bonds. Purchase them the easy, automatic way, where you work through the payroll savings plan, where you bank through the bond-a-month plan. Savings bonds are profitable. For every $3 invested today, you'll receive $4 when your bonds mature. So buy United States savings bonds through the payroll savings plan or bond-a-month plan. And remember, automatic saving is sure saving.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we're going to go back 75 years, April 30th, 1950. Vincent Price as the Saint.
The Adventures of the Saint, starring Vincent Price. The Saint, based on characters created by Leslie Charteris and known to millions from books, magazines, and motion pictures. The Robin Hood of modern crime now comes transcribed to radio, starring Hollywood's brilliant and talented actor Vincent Price as the Saint.
Hello?
Mr. Templar?
Yes?
Joe Collins. Remember me?
Joe, sure I do. How are you, chap? It's been a long time.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, your fight still on for tomorrow night?
Yeah. Say, could you do me a big favor, Saint? Could you come down to the gym right away?
Sure, but what is it?
I'll tell you when you get here. I need to talk to somebody I can trust. I need to real bad.
Well, I'll phone for a cab and be there in 20 minutes.
Oh, thanks, Saint. Thanks.
Oh, don't thank me, Joe. After all, I've got a bet on you tomorrow night. I've got to protect my investment.
Got a bet on me? Call it off, Saint. Call it off.
What?
So long.
Yes?
It's Louis, Mr. Templar. Your cab is here.
Oh, come on in, Louis. I'll be with you in a minute.
Maybe you should better open the door right away.
Well, why didn't you come in, Louis? The door was...
He's asleep.
Oh? Who's asleep?
Mr. Templar, look down.
Louis, it's a baby.
You are so right.
But why did you bring him here?
I found him here. On your doorstep, Mr. Templar.
Louis, don't you look at me that way.
Who ain't opened his mouth even, Louis?
Well, let's get him inside. You want to carry him?
Maybe you better.
Oh, all right. Up we go.
Oh, he's waking up, Mr. Templar. He's cute.
Yeah, he is. What's your name, old fella?
Oh, Donnie.
Hey, he talks. What's your last name, Donnie?
Donnie.
Donnie, huh? How did you get here, Donnie?
Donnie.
Here, let me try him, Mr. Templar. I got away with kids. Donnie, tell your Uncle Louis how you got here, huh?
Hey, Donnie.
It's a goldmine of information.
Wait a minute, look. Hey, there's a note pinned on his coat.
I understand that's traditional in such cases.
Hey, Donnie.
Oh, just a minute, Donnie. Here. Please keep him for a few days and don't tell anyone. Not even the police.
Sounds like trouble, Mr. Templar.
Yes, it does.
Well, I guess you won't be needing my cab now, huh?
Oh, hey, the champ, I forgot. Louis, how are you as a babysitter? Huh?
Who, me? Oh, no, wait a minute, Mr. Templar. I'm a cab driver. You can't drive while you sit. My locals got rules.
I'll be back in an hour, Louis. Just to make it official, I'll borrow your cab.
Hey, what do you... Well, it looks kind of funny on you at that. Hey, look at the funny man with the hat, Donnie. Huh? Isn't that funny?
I'll see you later, Louis.
Come on, kid. Use a little more left there. Get your shoulder into it. That's it. That's better.
Excuse me, but where could I find Joe Collins?
Hold it a minute there, kid. Hold it. The champ?
Yeah.
Well, he's right there, my friend, on the table. We're getting the rubdown.
We?
Yeah, Chadwick's the name. Sam Chadwick. I'm the champ's manager.
Oh, I'm Simon Templar. Joe said he wanted to see me.
Oh, we did, eh? Well, I don't remember us doing that. Well, let's go in. Come on, let's go in. Take a blow, kid. I'll be right back.
How's Joe feeling?
Oh, we're in the greatest shape of our lives. The greatest. That fish Shelley hasn't got a chance tomorrow night. Don't belong in the same ring with us.
2 against 1 hardly seems fair.
2 against... Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, here we are, Mr. Templar. Hey, champ, you know this gent?
Sure. How are you, Saint?
I'm good, Joe. How've you been?
In a pink, the absolute rose-colored pink.
I've been all right. That's enough, George. Thanks.
Hey, do you want to talk now, Joe? Got here as soon as I could.
Talk? What about? We got anything to talk to Mr. Templar about, champ?
Saint, the fact is, well, I'm sorry I called you. It was a mistake.
It sounded pretty serious, Joe.
Well, I guess I'm worked up for the fight tomorrow night with Fischel. You get, jumpy. It's the training that does it.
Yeah, sure, that's it. We're on edge, you know. Razor sharp condition. We always get this way right before a fight. With us, it's a sign.
Shut up, Sam. Sorry I bothered you, Saint. I'm sorry.
And if you're sure you don't need me, I guess that's it.
Yeah, sure. And look, if you want to make yourself some easy money, Mr. Templar, sock it on the champ to win tomorrow night. We won't even draw a deep breath.
I've already got my money down, Mr. Chadwick, on Joe.
Ah, that's great. That's the greatest cinch bet of the entire season.
Shut up, Sam. Saint, call off your bet.
No. I think you're a pretty good man, Joe. In the ring and out. Morning, Louis.
Hi, Mr. Templar. Came over as soon as I got your call. How are you?
I'm not so good.
A heavy responsibility being a father.
Yeah, I'm getting some help, fortunately. I phoned an employment agency, sent over a nurse.
That's a shrewd move, Mr. Templar. There's nobody quite has a woman's touch like a woman has. You know what I mean?
Well, it's deep, but I'll figure it out. Come on in and see Donnie.
Where is he?
In bed.
Oh, keeps pretty late hours.
You'd be tired, too, if you said Donnie 15,000 times a day.
Donnie!
How are you, Donnie, old man, huh? You feel like talking this morning, huh? Watch me get some information out of him, Mr. Templar. You just got to be firm.
Yeah, well, I wish you luck, Louis.
Donnie, what's your last name? Who brought you here? Where are you from? Huh?
Donnie.
Well, at any rate, he's consistent. Oh, that must be the nurse.
Mr. Templar?
Yes, come in.
Thank you. I'm Miss Barton, Mr. Templar. The agency sent me over.
Right in here, Miss Barton. Miss Barton, this is my friend Louis.
Howdy do.
And your charge, Donnie.
Hello, Donnie.
Well, he seems to approve of you, Miss Barton.
He's beautiful, Mr. Templar. Don't you think so?
Louis and I consider him one of the most beautiful babies we have ever seen. Right, Louis?
Right. Talks fluently, too, says Donnie.
Come here, darling.
I'm going to have to go out for a while, Miss Barton. Miss Barton.
What? Oh, excuse me, Mr. Templar.
I said I'll have to leave for a short while, and I'll be back. We can discuss arrangements then, huh?
Arrangements? Anything will be all right, Mr. Templar. Anything at all.
Well, I'll call if I'm more than an hour. Goodbye. Goodbye, Donnie.
Oh, Donnie.
Hey, tell your Uncle Louis goodbye, Donnie.
Donnie.
Well, better than nothing. Where to, Mr. Templar?
I want to go see Kid Fischel, Louis.
Well, the guy that's fighting Collins tonight. Huh?
Yes. I wasn't at all satisfied yesterday that Joe Collins didn't have something to tell me. Something going on there.
Mr. Templar, you got Donnie. How many mysteries can you handle at one time?
Sometimes 1 and 1 can be added together to get 1, Louis.
What does that mean?
Just a hunch, as yet.
Oh. I thought they came out with a new multiplication table. I ain't even learned the old one yet. Well, shall we be off, Mr. Templar?
There is an obvious answer to that, Louis, which I shall spare you. Let us, by all means, be off.
Yes?
My name is Templar, Simon Templar. They told me down at the desk this was Kid Fischel's suite.
It is. Come in. Frank at the desk school, Mr. Templar. One of Kid's sparring partners.
How are you, chum? How do you do?
My name is Alexander. Fritz Alexander.
You manage Kid Fischel?
I look after him. And very well, too, eh, Frankie?
The best, Mr. Alexander. Can I see the kid, Mr. Alexander?
Unfortunately, right now, he's sleeping. Go down to weigh in for the fight in an hour.
Oh, then perhaps I can talk to you about the fight, huh?
It would be a pleasure. I can discuss the kid by the hour and never tire. I'm quite fond of him, you see. He's a perfect young machine. Strong, healthy, handsome. He wants the championship. He shall have it. Nothing can stop him.
You sound quite confident.
I am. If I didn't think he could win, I wouldn't send him into the ring tonight. I wouldn't take a chance on his being hurt. I won't have him hurt, you understand?
Don't worry, Mr. Alexander. He ain't going to get hurt.
Yes. You see, Mr. Templar, I can become quite emotional over the kid. Usually I'm not an emotional man.
I see. And does Joe Collins know that the kid is not to be hurt?
He knows.
You telling me that the fight is fixed?
Hey, watch your mouth, chum.
I'm not telling you anything, Mr. Templar. But whoever you are, whomever you represent, remember this. The kid wants the championship. And he shall have it. Because I find pleasure in giving the kid what he wants. And if anything or anyone stands in my way... No, Mr. Templar. I refuse to be worried by you. The kid will not be hurt. Good day.
Mr. Alexander said good day, chum.
Thank you for interpreting, Frankie. And Mr. Alexander, my money still rides on Joe Collins.
In that case, Mr. Templar, I hope you can spare it.
Good day.
So long, chum.
Mr. Templar! Mr. Templar, I've been looking for you.
What is it, Louis?
I called your house to check if everything was all right, like you told me, and Miss Barton said Sam Chadwick had been calling, wants you to call right away.
Hey, that's Joe Collins' manager, Louis. Wonder what he wants.
I don't know, but it's supposed to be urgent. Here's the number, and there's a phone booth out here by the elevator.
Oh, thank you, Louis. Hello, Mr. Chadwick?
Yeah, who's this?
Simon Templar, Mr. Chadwick.
Oh, Mr. Templar, hey, I've been trying to get you. I've been trying to get everybody that Joe knows. The champ is gone.
Gone? Gone where?
I don't know. There's $50,000 already in the box office for the fight tonight, and he walks out. He can't do this.
You mean we can't do this?
You're in on it, too?
Oh, skip it. Have you got any idea where Joe went to?
I think he went out to get blind. The guy must be crazy. I'll find him, will you, Mr. Templar? You got to.
Well, I'll do what I can.
I'll pay anything. Within reason, that is. The fight has to go on.
Well, I'll do what I can. This is one fight I wouldn't like to miss.
This must be about the last bar in town, Mr. Templar. I ain't hit so many bars since the night my nephew went into the Navy.
And if we don't have any luck here, I'm about ready to give up, Louis. Well, come on, let's give it a try.
Yeah. You see him?
No, Yeah, I do. Down at the end of the bar.
She looks sober?
I don't know. You wait here, Louis.
Yeah.
Hello, Joe.
Huh? Oh, hello, Saint. What brings you here?
Looking for you, champ. You been drowning your troubles?
No, I started to, but no. I'd forgotten I was champion, and when you're champ, there's a pride that goes with it. I'd forgotten I had that pride.
Care to tell me what's wrong, Joe?
I'll tell you. Sure. Maybe I should have told you yesterday, but things got very bad after I phoned you.
How bad?
I can't win this fight tonight, Saint.
You can't beat Kid Fischel?
I can't try to beat him. They won't let me. They got my son.
Huh? Who's they, Joe?
Alexander, I guess. He had somebody do it. I knew he was a little crazy, but I didn't think he was that crazy. I guess Marie was in on it, too.
Marie? That isn't your wife.
Was my wife. She left me right after the kid was born 2 years ago. She's no good.
And if you don't let Fischel win tonight...
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? What can I do, Saint?
Joe, what's the name of your son?
Donnie.
Come on.
Where? What for?
I'll explain in the cab, Joe. We've got to get to my place right away. This way, Joe.
Right behind you, Saint.
Look, Mr. Templar, the front door is open.
Donnie boy, are you here? Donnie!
Wait a minute, Joe.
What?
Behind that couch.
That's Miss Barton.
Oh, no. Marie.
Marie?
Yeah, Donnie's mother, Louis. Joe's wife.
Marie.
She hurt bad?
I don't know.
Here, now, let me help you, Joe. I'm afraid.
No. Marie, can you hear me?
Oh, Joey, I didn't know what they were doing until yesterday. Then I got Donnie and left him here where he'd be safe. This morning, I took the place of a girl who was sent over as a nurse, but I guess they followed me.
Who did? Alexander?
No, not him. He sent somebody. They took Donnie. I tried to stop them, but they...
Where did they take him? Do you know?
I think the training camp on the river right above Milford.
I know the one.
Joey.
Yes, Marie.
Isn't Donnie the most beautiful boy you ever saw?
Marie.
I know that this is what all mothers say, but isn't he really?
He is, Marie.
And Joey, when he gets old enough, will you just tell him that his mother loved him very much? Just that, not all the rest.
Just that, Marie.
Thanks, Joey. You're
Marie.
I'm sorry, Joe.
She gave her life for Donnie.
Yes, she did. Now we've got to find him.
I'll find him. And if they've done anything...
No, Joe. If you do find him, they might. Well, look, I'll go after him.
I'll go along, Mr. Templar. I don't like the guys that did this.
Thanks, Louis. You better go down to the arena, Joe, and we'll let you know as soon as we can.
All right. I guess it wouldn't be much use in finding Donnie. I'd probably put him in more danger.
Joe, do you want me to...
No, I'll look after Marie. She was my wife.
This looks like the place. All right, Mr. Templar. Want to look through that window where the light is?
All right, Louis. Come on.
Sorry, twig.
Oh, keep down, Louis. I'm going to take a look.
What did you see?
Yeah, this is it. Donnie's in there, and that pug Frankie that I met with Alexander.
You think we can take him?
I think so. He's listening to the radio. Come on, let's see if we can get in the back way.
If you say so, Mr. Templar.
Come on. You got that tire iron, Louis?
Not only have I got it, I love it like a brother.
Good. Here's the kitchen door.
Is it open?
Yeah, we're in luck. Come on in, Louis. Quiet.
And here at ringside, we're watching the introduction of various celebrities by the ring announcer before the Collins-Fischel title go. Pat Novotny, clever young welterweight from Syracuse, has just been introduced from the ring, gets a nice hand, and now there goes...
I spar with a guy 2 months, and the night he's to win the title, I'm playing nursemaid. What are you laughing about?
Oh, Donnie.
Shut up.
Louis, stand beside the door. I'll try to get him out here in the kitchen, and when I do...
Just get him out here, Mr. Templar. I'll take it from there.
Here goes. Hi, Frankie.
What? Who's that?
You've got company.
Who's in there?
Little boy, Blue.
Wise guy, are you? Well, you'll end up so full of holes that you'll look like
a... Bullseye, Louis.
That was for Marie, Mr. Templar.
Yeah, should keep him quiet until the police get here.
Maybe I should give him another one for myself.
Yeah, I know how you feel, Louis, but no. Let's get Donnie and get out of here, huh?
Sure, Mr. Templar.
How are you, Donnie? Glad to see you?
Yeah. Say hi to your Uncle Louis, Donnie.
Oh, Donnie.
Can't you say hi? Hi.
Hi.
I learned him a new word. How about that, Mr. Templar? Now he can say 2 words.
Yes, you have a way with you, Louis.
Sure. Now, what do you say to Uncle Louis, Donnie?
Oh, hi.
That's it. And what's your name, Donnie?
Hi.
Louis, you should have given up while you were ahead. Come on.
You can't go in there. That's the champ's dressing room. Nobody allowed in.
Fight's not over, is it?
Not yet. 6th round, but Collins has taken an awful pace, and I was just up there.
Look, kid, get this straight. There isn't much time. Go up to Joe Collins' corner. Tell him Simon Templar has Donnie here safe. Have you got that?
Sure, but I can't go up there and
Here,
tell him...
look, does this persuade you?
Yes, sir, Mr. Templar. Thank you. I'll tell him right away.
Okay. Come on, let's go in and sit down, Louis. Donnie's about all in.
Yeah, look at him. He can't keep his eyes open. Why couldn't we go right up to Joe's corner ourselves, Mr. Templar?
Couldn't risk it with Donnie. I couldn't tell what Alexander might do.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, poor Joe. You think we got here in time?
I don't know, Louis. I don't know.
Guy must be taking a beating and can't fight back.
Yeah, but he can now.
If he's got anything left to fight with. Quiet up there now.
Must be the end of a round.
See, that crowd noise, I never heard it from down here. You know, it scares you.
It should, Louis. It's the voice of the mob howling for blood. Same voice that howled in the Colosseum at Rome 2,000 years ago.
For whose blood? The champ's or Fischel's?
Mob doesn't care, Louis. Just blood.
Yeah. Scares you. What makes people go to these things, Mr. Templar? Will they ever stop?
They go because this is an allegory of their own lives, Louis. They'll stop when their lives cease to be conflict and pain.
And when will that be?
It's a good question. Hey, fight's starting up again.
Yeah, that means the champ is still on his feet anyway. Come on, Joey boy, come on. Hey, is it wrong to root, Mr. Templar?
We're all part of the crowd, Louis, one way or another.
Yeah. Oh, something is happening up there. They don't yell like that for nothing. Come on, Joey. Do it. You can do it, Joey. Donnie's down here. You can fight now, Joey.
Careful of that tire iron, Louis.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. Come on. The straight left, champ. Come on, the straight left in the face, Joey, and cross with the right. Oh. What am I talking about? I can't even see him.
Come on, Joe. Come on.
Yeah. You too, Mr. Templar?
Yeah, me too, Louis.
Something happened, Mr. Templar. That was too short for a round. That was a knockout.
It was, Louis, but who?
Yeah, who? Oh, keep everything crossed, Mr. Templar. Fingers, toes, eyes, everything.
Maybe he didn't get our message, Louis.
Mr. Templar, don't say that.
We'll soon know. It sounds like people coming down the hall outside.
Yeah, but Joey couldn't have won. He would have had too much taken out of him. He couldn't have come back after the...
Oh, was that great?
Joe!
Hey, we took him, Mr. Templar. We took him. Oh.
Clear everybody out of here, will you?
Yeah, you heard us, everybody out. Come on, give us a chance to get our breath, will you? Everybody out. Come on, fellas. Come on, will you, fellas? Come on, spring. That's it. All out, champ. Hey, that was a great fight. I thought it was even better than the one we fought against Babyface. Oh, boy, am I proud of us, Joe.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, well, you gotta excuse me now. I got some dough to collect.
Donnie.
Donnie, come on now. Wake up and say hello to your daddy.
No, let him sleep, Saint. I'm not very pretty right now. But you should see Fischel.
You clobbered him, champ?
Good. He was a very surprised young man.
Yeah. How about Alexander?
I don't know. I didn't see him after it was over. I rushed right down here.
And I'd better get the police on his trail. He might be able to get away if I don't tell them to.
Alexander.
Joe, did you think you could get away with it? And Joe, did you think I'd stand by and see you?
That gun must be heavy, Mr. Alexander. You better put it down.
No.
The police won't like your negative attitude.
What do I care? After what he did to the kid, you think I care any more about anything?
The kid will be all right. He was just knocked out.
Just. That beautiful physical machine, blooded, battered, stretched out in the dirt. Oh. Do you think the kid can ever feel the same again? Do you think I can ever feel about him as I did? He had the championship. Had it. Before Collins double-crossed us.
That's one way of looking at it.
Why didn't you keep out, Mr. Templar? Why?
Put the gun away, Alexander. You haven't a chance.
Maybe I haven't. But neither have you, Collins. I warned you not to hurt the kid, but you wouldn't listen.
You're a sick man, Mr. Alexander.
Perhaps I am. Perhaps the world is sick and I'm well, but I know what I'm going to do. You first, Collins. You know how the kid felt.
Mr. Alexander, I'm afraid you'll have to take care of me first.
Stop where you are, Templar. Don't come any closer. I'll warn you once more, Templar, and then I'm going to...
All right, Louis.
Oh.
Nice work.
Lucky I kept this tire iron.
Yeah.
You know, I think he was serious.
I don't think there's much doubt about it. A very twisted man, Mr. Alexander.
Hey, look. Donnie's awake. You got a smile for your old man, Donnie.
Oh, Donnie, hi.
Hey, he knows a new word. How about that, Saint? Ain't that some kid?
He's another champ, Joe.
Oh, I'll be a champ in something. Not in this racket, but something good. Something he can take a real pride in.
He'll be proud of you, Joe.
He'll be proud of his mother, too. After I tell him about her.
Just a minute.
Hi, Mr. Templar.
Well, look who's here. Hi, Donnie.
Champ, let me take him out for a walk. Hey, you know what, Mr. Templar? I've been teaching him all sorts of words.
Honestly, Louis?
Mm-hmm. The smartest kid there is. Watch this now, Mr. Templar. Watch. Donnie, what's my name?
Wally.
How about that? Some smart kid, huh? That's not all. Now, watch this. Donnie, what's Mr. Templar's name?
Wally.
Something go wrong?
No, wait just a minute. Wait a minute. Donnie, Mr. Templar's name.
Wally.
All right, something else. Donnie, where do you live?
Wally.
Donnie, what's your daddy's name?
Wally.
No.
Wally.
Goodbye, Mr. Templar.
Goodbye, Louis.
You have been listening to another transcribed adventure of the Saint, the Robin Hood of modern crime. Now here's our star, Vincent Price.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain things in our daily life which we take for granted. Only when we are deprived of them do we realize what precious commodities they really are. Air may become the most vital thing in the world to the suffocating man, and water to the thirsty one. In the same way, freedom, when it is missed, suddenly becomes life's greatest treasure. In this country, we possess freedom. It is part of us. It is our American heritage. This liberty which we so casually accept was created and nurtured. It didn't just materialize. And so Americans are justly proud of their heritage, and much of the world around us is fascinated by it. If we are to justify our own pride and the yearnings of those in other countries, we must make this freedom a personal thing. We must take it as it was handed to us and preserve it. Preserve it with conscious effort. That is our job as Americans, as free men. For freedom is everybody's job. This is Vincent Price inviting you to join us again next week at this same time for another exciting adventure of the Saint. Good night.
This Adventure of the Saint was written by Dick Kollmar. In our cast, you heard Larry Dobkin as Louie and Mary Shipp as Marie. Sheldon Leonard played Sam and Bonnie Phillips Joe. Downey was Jerry Hausner and Victor Rodman Alexander. Frank Gerstle was Frankie. The Saint, based on characters created by Leslie Charteris, is a James L. Safier production and is directed by Helen Mack. Vincent Price is soon to be seen co-starring with Errol Flynn and Michael Imprell in William Marshall's production of Bloodline. All you Saint fans will be glad to know that the Saint comic books are now on all newsstands. Your announcer, Don Stanley. 3 chimes mean good times on NBC. Who's on the big show tonight? Well, listen, Bob Hope, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Rosalind Russell, Frankie Lane, Dorothy McGuire, Louis Armstrong, Meredith Wilson, and glamorous, unpredictable Tallulah. No wonder it's the big show. And Sunday evening also means another outstanding production by Theater Guild on the Air. Tonight, it's Boomerang, starring Kirk Douglas. Remember, Bob Hope and Martin and Lewis join the big show today on NBC.
There you have it from Sunday, April 30th, 1950, The Saint, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage to support the podcast at classicradio.stream. Coming up next, we go back 90 years to Calling All Cars.
This is Peter Halas. As senior editor of the Hungarian desk at Radio Free Europe, I write and edit material destined for an audience still living behind barbed wire. I know those people, for I was one of them. I escaped to freedom in 1956, but there are millions still in captivity. Radio Free Europe keeps them in touch with the world outside. Keep RFE on the air with contributions to Crusade for Freedom.
I have to say that Calling All Cars was a great show, particularly for its time. That's what you're going to hear today. Calling All Cars going back 90 years, April 30th, 1935, back when they were called cop shows, and they weren't even considered police procedurals at the time. This is The Corpse in the Cellar.
Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, broadcast 75. Regarding a body found buried in the cellar of a house on South Catalina Street. The corpse was wearing a gold ring with the initials RB on it, and a silver belt buckle with the initial B. That's all. Rosenquist.
When you see the name Rio Grande Cracked Gasoline, perhaps you wonder what cracked means. But oil and gasoline experts know that cracked describes the most costly and most efficient process yet devised to produce gasoline. Millions of dollars and years of research have been spent in the development of cracked gasoline by engineers of the worldwide Sinclair Oil Organization, who recently completed construction of the finest and most modern cracking plant for the Rio Grande Oil Company. In this new plant, Rio Grande gasoline undergoes a treatment which cannot be duplicated by any other gasoline sold in the far west. Ordinary refining methods fail to break up the particles of gasoline so that much of the potential power of uncracked gasoline is wasted. But Rio Grande gasoline is made under terrific heat and pressure so that these particles are cracked up into tiny atoms. When cracked gasoline reaches your engine, there is no waste, as with straight-run gasoline. It burns evenly, smoothly. It revolutionizes your car's performance. That's why Rio Grande cracked gasoline has been chosen by the leading cities of California and Arizona for their most exacting task of powering police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency equipment. If these exacting buyers find Rio Grande cracked gasoline such an outstandingly better buy, don't you think that you, too, should enjoy the extra benefits that cracked gasoline gives you at no extra cost? And now it is our pleasure to present Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Davis.
Good evening, friends. There is an old saying, murder will out, and like most time-worn adages, has more than a grain of truth to it. No matter how carefully a criminal plans his crime, our experience is that he never thinks of everything. Always he leaves a loose end. It may take months or even years before his mistake is discovered. But when it is, inevitably the criminal is called to answer for his act. The murder we are dramatizing for you tonight was a cold-blooded, premeditated crime committed for material gain. Although it was never proved in court, the murderess must have been slightly insane, for she made little effort to cover up her tracks permanently. When we found her and brought her back to Los Angeles for questioning, her cold refusal to talk earned her the title of Enigma Woman and forced us to go to court with a circumstantial evidence case, which was so well constructed by our investigation officers that the jury was never in doubt as to its opinion. But that's getting ahead of the story.
Our story tonight opens in Denver, Colorado, some 15 years ago. Mr. Spaulding, a prominent merchant, is seated in his study at his desk. Mrs. Spaulding has just entered the room.
Did you want to see me, Herbert?
Yes, I want to ask you about these.
What?
These bills.
What about them?
What about them? Good Lord, woman, what about them? Look, LSA Millinery Shop, $97. Pierre's for dresses, $523, and $75 for shoes. All in 1 month. And there are more, too.
I needed those things.
Needed them. The trunks and closets you have filled with clothes?
Oh, Herbert, let's not go through all this again. If you weren't able to support me, you had no right marrying me.
Mildred, you're unreasonable. You know that I've never stinted you. I've always tried to give you everything you wanted. But this is too much. It's got to stop.
Why has it got to stop, may I ask?
Because I have no more money.
You have no more money?
Nothing but my regular salary. I had $25,000 in the bank when we were married. You've gone through that in 3 years. Oh, we've got to cut down.
Cut down? I can't possibly cut down. I haven't nearly enough now to live decently. You'll have to make more money.
That isn't as easy as it sounds.
Well, it's your problem.
No, it isn't. You've got to help.
Well, I won't help. I have a perfect right to the things I like.
But, Mildred...
If you can't give them to me, I'll find some man who can. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
So it is that shortly afterwards, Mrs. Spaulding travels to Los Angeles. Calculatingly, she looks the territory over for a source of finances which will meet the expenses of her standard of living. One morning, an advertisement in the newspaper catches her eye.
A widower, breaking up housekeeping, wishes to lease his lovely home on South Catalina Street to responsible party for indefinite period. Phone Robert Bernard, Drexel 372. South Catalina Street, right in the Wilshire district. That sounds promising. It's a charming place, Mr. Bernard. I'm simply in love with it. Oh, I know I shall be happy here.
I hope you will, Mrs. Spaulding. It isn't just like any house you might find for rent.
Of course it isn't. There's something intimate and lovely about it.
There should be. I built it as a wedding present for my second wife.
I thought you were a widower.
I am. She died a month after we were married.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So you see, the place has too many uncomfortable memories for me. I go crazy living here by myself.
I understand exactly.
However, there is one stipulation I want to place in the lease.
What is that?
I want the right to reserve one room here as my own, to leave my things there and to return to it if I feel I want to be close for a while to my wife's spirit.
Well, I can't see any objection to that.
It's a silly thing, I suppose, and I probably never will come back to the room. But I want to feel that it's here for me.
Of course you do.
When do you think you'll want to take possession?
Well, as soon as convenient to you.
Well, I'm planning to go east on the 1st of June. I'm going to buy a car in Detroit and drive back through Texas and Arizona to inspect some of my oil leases and mining properties. Suppose you come in on June 1st.
That'll be fine.
I'll draw up the lease on those conditions and have the place ready for you on the 1st. That'll be next Tuesday.
Very well. I'll be here Tuesday afternoon. It's been very nice to have met you, Mr. Bernard. And you can be sure I'll take the best of care of your dream house.
I know you will, Mrs. Spaulding. Good day.
Good day, Mr. Bernard. Oil wells in Texas, mines in Arizona, and a $20,000 house in Los Angeles. I wonder if Mr. Bernard will catch his train Tuesday. I wonder.
On Tuesday afternoon, Mrs. Spaulding arrives at the Bernard mansion with her luggage.
Well, Mr. Bernard, here I am, bag and baggage.
So I see. Can I help you with the bag?
Thank you. We'll just leave them here in the hall. There's plenty of time to get settled. You have the lease?
Yes, here it is. It's very simple. Just contains a proviso about my room.
May I see it, please?
Of course.
What's that jingling noise?
Oh, I beg your pardon. A habit of mine, pacing the floor and jingling my keys. Does it annoy you?
Oh, no. I just thought for a minute there were ghosts in the house.
Sometimes I think there are. The ghost of my dead wife.
You poor man. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, that's all right. I'm just in a mood today, leaving this place in the hands of a stranger.
But don't consider me a stranger, Mr. Bernard. Please think of me as a friend.
Thank you, Mrs. Spaulding. I'll try to. Well, does the lease look all right?
Yes, it seems to be in order. Here's my check for $250, first and last month's rent.
Thank you.
Oh, and another thing.
What's that?
Well, I'll be living here all alone. It's a big house, and I'm just a woman. I wondered if you had a gun you could leave me.
A gun? Why, yes, but I scarcely think you'll need it. The house is guarded by a private patrol service.
I know, but I'd feel safer.
Oh, very well. My gun's right there in the desk drawer. I was going to take it with me, but if you really feel you need it...
I do.
All right. Here you are.
Oh, my. It's a dangerous-looking thing. How does it work?
Watch out, it's loaded.
Oh.
But the safety catch is on. When you want to fire it, you throw this catch, like this. See?
Oh, I see. That's very simple, isn't it?
Why?
Thank you, Mr. Bernard. I'll feel much safer now.
Well, I'd better be getting on.
Oh, before you go, Mr. Bernard, let me make you a cup of tea. I'd like you to be the first guest in my new home.
Oh, very well. A cup of tea wouldn't go badly.
And anyway, you can show me where the things are in the kitchen.
Right. Come along this way. Here we are, right through the butler's pantry here. You'll find some tea on that third shelf, I think. Tea kettle's on the stove. By the way, Mrs. Spaulding, you still have got that gun in your hand.
Oh, how silly of me. I forgot about it. I'll leave it here on the pantry shelf. There. Now, in just a minute, we'll have a nice hot cup of tea. Have you a match, Mr. Bernard?
Yes. Here you are.
Always pacing and jingling those keys. Are you that nervous?
I am sorry.
Well, you act like a man whose hours are numbered.
Oh, no, not that bad, I hope. I'm good for a pretty long time yet. Here, I'll give you the keys, then I won't be tempted to jingle them. This one's for the house. This one opens the garage. And this Yale lock key fits the liquor closet in the cellar.
Is there any liquor in it?
Unfortunately, it's quite empty. Oh, and this one is for the kitchen door here.
Well, I think that's about all I need to know, isn't it?
Well, yes, I think so.
The water's boiling. Tea is about to be served. The cups are in the pantry, I presume.
That's right.
You're not jingling keys, you're drumming your fingers. And you're nervous.
Yes, I am. I don't know why it is, but I feel as though something were about to happen.
Maybe you're right, Mr. Barnard. Maybe you're right. I'm afraid, Mr. Barnard, you're quite dead. Oh, Gardner! Gardner!
You wanting me, please?
Yes. Did you hear a strange noise a few minutes ago?
Noise?
Yes, like a shot.
No. I was in back sprinkling.
Oh, I suppose it was an automobile backfiring.
Backfire? Yes.
I suppose Mr. Barnard told you about me.
No? You not tell?
I have leased his house. He's gone out of town for a while.
Yes.
Whatever arrangements you have with him will continue, just the same.
Yes, please.
Oh, and by the way...
Yes?
Could you get me a load of dirt?
Dirt? What kind dirt?
I want to cultivate some bulbs in the cellar. Dirt for bulbs.
Yes. How much dirt you wanting, please?
Oh, I don't know. Enough to cover Enough for bulbs. You ought to know.
Yes. 1 yard.
Yes, that'll do, I suppose.
Shall I dumping dirt in cellar?
No, of course not. Leave it right here by the cellar door.
Yes. I'll bring it tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Bring it this afternoon, right now.
But you want to
Don't
go...
argue with me. Bring it here this minute. As soon as you've delivered it, you can go.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Honey, I can't sleep. Wind, rain. It would have to rain tonight. Wind, rain, and a corpse buried in the cellar. All the setting for a ghost story.
Sometimes I think that
Who spoke? Who spoke?
The ghost of my dead wife.
Good Lord, I've got to get hold of myself. Now, look here, Mildred Spaulding. You sit down and light a cigarette. Got to stop these nerves of yours. There. Nothing like a cigarette. Quiet, sure. What's that? Good God, I'm going crazy. There are ghosts in this house.
Ghost of my wife.
Who's there?
Ghost in the house.
No. You shan't come in here. Stay out. You can't come in. I'll shoot you again.
Ghost of my wife.
My reflection in the mirror. I shot at my reflection. Shh. Can't let this get me. Silly. Got to get hold of myself. Thunder, but it never thunders in California.
The ghost of my wife.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out. I'm sure you'll like it here, Mrs. Sterner. It's a lovely place.
Yes, it's just what I'm looking for.
Now, as I explained, the house is completely yours with the exception of the room at the head of the stairs. It has some of my husband's personal effects in it. I'll just leave it locked.
Yeah, it's quite all right.
My husband's out of town. Probably won't return for some time, and I may be east indefinitely. But you can pay your rent regularly to my agent.
Very well. And I'll take care of your house as though it were my very own.
I'm sure you will. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Months pass, and then Bernard's first wife, failing to receive an allowance check for her daughter, requests the Los Angeles attorney to investigate the oil man's disappearance. Accompanied by a private detective, the attorney calls at the Bernard house in an attempt to locate either Bernard or Mrs. Spaulding.
So, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you where Mrs. Spaulding is now. I send all my rent checks to a real estate agent.
I see.
Well, Mrs. Turner, would you mind if we look over the house? It seems that Mr. Bernard is missing, and they want to locate him if possible.
Who's Mr. Bernard?
He's the owner of the house.
Why, I thought Mrs. Spaulding owned the house.
She doesn't.
Well, she told me she did.
Oh, she did, eh?
Yes, I rented the place in good faith.
Well, don't worry about that. If you'll only be so good as to cooperate with us,
Certainly. You may search any place you like.
thank you. Come on, Sam. We'll start with the garret. Well, looks like a wild goose chase. Nothing on the garret, second or first floors.
Maybe we'll find something down here in the cellar. That's where they bury bodies, you know.
You're going melodramatic on me, eh? No, I don't think we'll find him here. He probably got in an accident someplace in the east and is lying on a slab in some morgue, unidentified all this time.
Nothing suspicious around here.
No.
Laundry tubs, furnace, packing boxes.
Yeah, well, here, let's take a look at this cupboard.
It's locked.
Now, let me have those keys Mrs. Turner gave us.
Here you are.
Yeah. Well, no, this wouldn't work. No, this one. Well, here's a likely candidate. Nope.
How about that one there?
No, Sam. There isn't a key here to fit this lock.
That's funny. Here, wait till I try some of my masters.
Yeah.
There we are. Nothing here but a mound of dirt.
Wait a minute. Look at the shape of that mound.
What do you mean?
Well, if it's what I think it is, I want the police here when we move it.
The attorney hastily calls Central Police and Detectives Hickok and Cant to hurry to the house on South Catalina Street.
Well, it's right here in this closet, Canto. I see. I thought you'd better be here before we went ahead. Looks suspicious to me. Right. Got a shovel?
Here you are.
Well, we'll find out quick enough.
Hey, Canto, stop.
What's the matter?
You've uncovered a man's foot.
Well, there's the end of your mystery and the beginning of ours. Yeah.
After a day of intensive investigation and examination of physical evidence, the two detectives report to their chief.
Well, boys, what have you got to report?
What it? Deceased is Robert Bernard. Wore a wedding ring with initials GB on it and a silver belt buckle with the initial B. Also had an identification and some bridge work for his dentist.
Good. You boys haven't been wasting any time. I suppose you've been too busy identifying the body to find out who did it.
Got pretty strong suspicions about that, too. While I was checking identity, Hickok went over the place for physical evidence. Did a pretty good reconstruction. Go ahead, Sid. Tell the chief.
Well, Bernard rented his house to a Mrs. Spaulding from Denver. He was last seen on June 1st by some business associates when he was winding up some last-minute business before leaving for Detroit.
I see.
Mrs. Spaulding took possession of the house the same day, according to these men, who say that Bernard cut his interview short in order to meet Mrs. Spaulding at the house. Well, for some reason or other, Mrs. Spaulding and Bernard went into the kitchen, where while Mr. Bernard was sitting at the kitchen table with his back to Mrs. Spaulding, she shot and killed him with a .32-20, his own gun.
How are you so sure of that?
Well, he was shot through the neck from behind with a .32-20 slug. We found his gun in a room he retained in the house. The fatal bullet was fired from that gun, according to our ballistics man. Well, the crime occurred in the kitchen, and after she disposed of the body, Mrs. Spaulding washed up the blood. But she didn't do a completely thorough job because we found watered blood stains under the linoleum by the kitchen table. These stains tally and count with Bernard's blood.
Go ahead.
Well, after she shot him, she dragged the body downstairs and placed it in the closet.
Know when this occurred?
Yes, sir, about 5:30.
How do you know that?
She asked the gardener about that time whether he'd heard a sound like a shot. And then she told him to bring her some dirt because she wanted to plant bulbs in the cellar. Well, the gardener brought the dirt, which I'm convinced is the same dirt she covered the body with. Apparently her nerves went back on her, for on June 5th, she rented the house to Mrs. Sterner, the present occupant, and left for the east, so she said. I'd suggest that you have Denver police look her up and arrest her on a murder charge.
Wait a minute. Not so fast. You've got a pretty neat case here, but it's all circumstantial. Any fingerprints on the gun?
No, it was wiped off. But there's not even a reasonable doubt that she's innocent. I'm convinced of her guilt.
Yes, but you wouldn't convince a jury on that evidence.
Why, she gave Mrs. Sterner to understand that the house on Catalina Street was her own. She never even mentioned Bernard when she rented it.
Still, she might have a convincing answer for that.
Well, what are you going to do? Let her get away?
No, but I'm not going to arrest her until you boys have built up a stronger case. Go out and find out something about her. Trace her whereabouts before and after the crime. And in the meantime, I'll bring her here from Denver.
How can you bring her unless you arrest her?
Ask her assistance. From what you say, she sounds like a cold, hard customer to me.
She'll probably fall for the ruse because she's convinced that she can talk her way out of this. In the meantime, you boys find me a motive.
Well, renting the house in her own name was a motive. She wanted his house.
Insufficient. She didn't try to sell it, did she? She merely sublet it on her lease. That's legal. Find something else.
Okay, Chief, we will.
A detective is sent to Denver to bring Mrs. Spaulding back for questioning in connection with the disappearance of Mr. Bernard. Expressing a willingness to assist in any way she can, Mrs. Spaulding returns to Los Angeles and faces Chief of Detectives.
Mrs. Spaulding, we want you to know that we appreciate your kindness in coming all the way to Los Angeles.
Not at all, Chief. Naturally, I'm willing to assist you in any way I can.
Do you know where Mr. Bernard is?
No, I don't.
You were a good friend of his, weren't you?
Hardly. I rented his house from him, that's all. I scarcely knew the man.
I see. He left town shortly after you moved into his house, didn't he?
Yes, he went to San Francisco the day I moved in.
Did you see him after that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he had some trouble and came back to Los Angeles.
Trouble? What kind of trouble?
Well, he got into a fight with a Mexican woman. She shot him in the arm, and he had to have his arm amputated.
I see. And then where did he go?
Why, he left for the East, I believe. Of course, I didn't talk to him very much.
Very interesting, Mrs. Spaulding. Very interesting. This has been a great help to us.
Is that all you require of me?
For the moment, yes. But I'd appreciate it if you'd remain in town for a few days. I may want to question you further.
Very well. I'll keep in touch with you. Good day.
Good day, Mrs. Spaulding. Send Matthews in here.
Yes, Chief.
Matt, Mrs. Spaulding just left this office. I want you to shadow her. Don't let her out of your sight.
Yes, sir.
Of all the cock and bull stories I ever heard, shot in the arm by a Mexican woman, had his arm amputated. I don't understand what the devil she's driving at. Yes? Fine, send them right in. Oh, boys. How long have you got?
Got plenty. On June 2nd, the day after Bernard was murdered, Mrs. Spaulding bought $375 worth of clothes at Bullett's and charged him to Bernard's account, explaining that she was his wife.
Yes, and on the succeeding 3 days, she presented checks totaling $1,200 to Bernard's bank and had them honored. Who wrote them?
And my hunch is that she did. When the bank teller questioned the signature, she explained that she was Mrs. Bernard, and that her husband had had an accident to his right arm, and that this was his signature, written with his left hand.
So that accounts for the story about the amputation. What else?
On June 6th, she cashed in Bernard's railroad ticket for Detroit and bought a ticket to Denver. She lifted that ticket off his body. She presumably stole the $500, which are also in his wallet.
What makes you think that?
His business associates told us that he had $500 and a ticket to Detroit in his wallet. They saw him last on June 1st. We found that wallet empty in his room in the house in Catalina Street.
Well, she certainly was out to take him, wasn't she?
I'll say.
You going to arrest her now, Chief? Not yet. I'm having her shadowed, but I want a foolproof case from you boys first. She's a clever woman, and I don't want to give her a single loophole.
For 3 weeks, the officers build up their case, while Mrs. Spaulding, under constant surveillance of the police, continues at large. Then, when their case is complete, they present it to the grand jury, which promptly returns a true bill of murder. Then Mrs. Spaulding is summoned into the chief's office, where the investigating officers await her.
Good afternoon, Chief.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Spaulding. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
May I present Detectives Canto and Hickok, Mrs. Spaulding?
How do you do?
How do you do?
These are the gentlemen who've been investigating the murder of Mr. Bernard.
Murder?
Certainly, Mrs. Spaulding. Mr. Bernard was shot and killed in the kitchen of this house on Catalina Street, June 1st. I hereby arrest you for that murder.
What? You arrest me?
Precisely.
That's rather amusing, Chief. On what grounds do you arrest me?
Frankly, on the grounds of circumstantial evidence. Our investigation shows that you're the only person who could have killed him.
You'll have a nice time trying to prove that in court.
That's precisely what we will do,
this
however.
is preposterous. Accusing me of the murder of a man I only saw twice in my life.
Let's save time for all of us, Mrs. Spaulding. It'll be easier on you and us, and if you make a voluntary confession right now.
A confession? A confession? Do you think I'm crazy? Look here, my good man. I'm as innocent as you are.
Oh, come on, Mrs. Spaulding. When did you see Mr. Bernard last?
When he left his house the day he went east after he came back from San Francisco.
That was when he came back to have his arm amputated?
Yes.
Mr. Bernard's body had 2 arms firmly attached when it was found.
Then it wasn't Mr. Bernard's body.
The witnesses are positive it was.
What did you do with that dirt you told the gardener to bring you?
What dirt?
The dirt you ordered from the gardener.
I never ordered any dirt from the gardener.
Yes, well, he says you did.
Then he lies.
Why did you tell the present occupant of the house on Catalina Street that you owned it?
I never did.
She said you did.
Then she lies.
Your picture has been identified as that of the woman who passed as Mrs. Bernard at Bullock's and at a downtown bank. How do you explain that?
It isn't so.
Why, Mrs. Spaulding, failing to convict you for murder, we can send you up for grand larceny and forgery.
That'll be some job.
Why did you kill Robert Bernard?
I didn't.
Then who killed him?
I don't know.
You want to hang for this?
I'll never hang.
You killed Robert Bernard and you know you did.
I'm sorry, you're mistaken.
Now look here, Mrs.
You
Spaulding.
look here. I've had about enough of this browbeating. You can address any further questions to me through my attorneys, and until you permit me to have one, I'll not open my mouth. Only let me warn you. You men are doing the most dangerous thing you ever did in your life in making this false accusation. I'm going to break every one of you as though you were toothpicks between my fingers.
Who killed Bernard? Why did you kill him?
You're the murderers of Robert Bernard. Lock her up, Sergeant.
Mrs. Spaulding maintained her cold silence throughout her trial. Never would she make the slightest confession of her guilt. Always she believed her refusal to talk would save her. But the police had a foolproof case against her. A case of circumstantial evidence so complete that the jury on the first ballot found her guilty of first-degree murder. And nearly 15 years ago, one of the nation's most bizarre cases came to a close when Mrs. Spaulding entered the state penitentiary to serve a term of life imprisonment, from which, by recommendation of judge and jury, she can never be paroled or pardoned.
Thank you, Chief Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, the solution of this case is another tribute to the efficiency of the Los Angeles Police Department. When Los Angeles citizens call the police, a radio patrol car is on the scene within an average of 2.5 minutes. To make this possible, the department has tested every gasoline available, but they have used only Rio Grande cracked gasoline for the past several years. Other cities, Oakland, Berkeley, Merced, Fresno, also specify Rio Grande cracked gasoline exclusively for city emergency engines. And out in the wide-open spaces of Arizona, many sheriff's officers have proved that Rio Grande cracked gasoline is best for emergency use over large areas. These law enforcement agencies use the same Rio Grande cracked gasoline that your neighborhood independent dealer sells, so that you too can enjoy police car performance in your own car.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars. Cancellation broadcast 75 regarding a dead body. The victim has been identified and the murderer is now in custody. And that's all. Rolls request.
Calling All Cars is written and directed by William N. Robeson. This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company.
90 years ago, April 30th, 1935, Calling All Cars on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Let's look what's coming up through the weekend. Tomorrow on our Thursday podcast, we'll have a master recording from 1955 from the last season of the Jack Benny radio show. We'll also have an episode of Father Knows Best from 1952. My Name is Sam. Screen Directors Playhouse, The Trouble with Women, starring Ray Milland from 1949, and Mr. Ace and Jane from 1948. That's all coming up on our first May edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Friday, we'll have an hour of George Burns and Gracie Allen from 1946, Barbara Stanwyck on the Charlie McCarthy Show from 1943, and a 1950 edition of Life with Luigi. Saturday, we will have an hour of war drama from the Lux Radio Theater, The Navy Comes Through from 1948, starring Pat O'Brien, Suspense, The Giant of Thermopylae, from 1954, starring Frank Lovejoy, and an episode of Gangbusters from 1947. Sunday, we'll have an episode, two episodes from the Armed Forces Radio Service Preservations, I guess I have to call them now, because it was actually broadcast in 1958. Suspense, Sundown, starring Jackie Kelk. Yes, that Jackie Kelk. Also, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, with Bob Bailey in the Carson Arson Matter, and The Confidence Game in an episode of This Is Your FBI, and an episode of the CBS Radio Workshop from 1956. That's all coming up, heading through this weekend here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. But coming up next, Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt.
It's a strange quirk of human nature, but most of us never think, except in the most abstract way, of an accident ever happening to us. It's always the other fellow who's involved. But nevertheless, accidents go right on happening at an ever-increasing, alarming rate. And it can't always be happening only to the other fellow. For instance, 1 out of 5 families will have a traffic accident this year. Think of that. And how can you be sure you won't be that one? Well, there's one way of piling up some percentages in your favor. A few simple precautions will guarantee better accident odds for your family. For one thing, remember it's not always easy to stop quickly in wet weather. Drive so that you can stop when and if you want to. And always drive with a clean, clear windshield. There are a great many safety precautions, and for the most part, it's simply a matter of applying common sense to driving. Just remember to drive as if your life depended on it, because it does.
Now we close out this edition of Classic Radio Theater on a Wednesday with an episode of the Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt's own program. This was the first show of the series, and this goes back to April 30th, 1940.
This is Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt's own program. The time is here. The curtain rises, ladies and gentlemen, on the first of a series of radio visits with Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt. In these informal chats, Mrs. Roosevelt will discuss, in the light of her own rich experience, topics of especial interest to American women. These programs will be presented every Tuesday and Thursday by the makers of Sweetheart Soap, one of America's oldest and best-liked toilet soaps. And now we take you to Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am very glad to have this opportunity to talk to my friends among the women in America during the next few weeks, every Tuesday and Thursday at this same time. I shall hope to be able to tell you about things which have interested me and which I hope will interest you. When I think that other people can add to the interest of these talks or can illustrate some special point, I shall ask them to join me on the radio. Today, I will not have any guest speaker because I think until this program has had a chance to get started and I know a little about what you want, it is better for me to devote more time to a variety of subjects than to talk about just one particular thing, where I would most likely feel I should have someone else with me who would have more actual knowledge of a specialized subject. I hope you will let me know what are the things you like to hear about. Be sure to write me if there are subjects which you would like to hear discussed from opposite points of view. I know this is courting the deluge, but we really want to hear from as many people as possible and give them what they want. In the last 6 weeks, I've traveled a good deal to different parts of our country, and I think it might interest you if I run through a few of the things which stand out in my mind in relation to my journeys. In the first place, as you may have guessed, I go on lecture trips for a variety of reasons, but the chief one is that signing the contracts a long time ahead means I have to fulfill them, and therefore I plan them for the times in the year when I know I can leave home. I have several objectives in making these trips which take me all over the country. One is to get away from the ease of the White House. Yes, I can stay there and spend my days receiving people who come either socially or for some specific reason. I could intersperse this with a little outdoor exercise, attend luncheons, the openings of charitable benefits, the christening of ships and planes, and a variety of interesting activities. But fundamentally, this life would be a sheltered and feather-bed kind of existence. I can ring a bell in the White House, and someone will appear at once. either to help me do whatever I wish to do or to do it for me. Someone else does my shopping if I so desire. I do oversee the household tasks through an able housekeeper, Mrs. Nesbit, but I do none of them myself. And the main object of everyone who comes in contact with me is to make life pleasant and easy for me. This isn't good for anyone over too long a period. Under our system of government, we do not have a group of people who are trained carefully because of the accident of birth to this type of life. And each person who lives in the White House has to return to the rough and tumble of everyday life after this period is over. When I go out of the White House, life still is made easy for me. But going as I do with definite things to do on a lecture trip, I get to many different types of communities, and I come in closer contact with people and with the life of the nation than I otherwise could do. Then I have a purely personal reason for taking these trips. I have children all over the United States, and it's very pleasant to steal a little visit with them between lecture dates. Of course, having money which I've earned and which I can do with as I wish is another good reason for going on these trips. When you live in the White House, you have great opportunities for knowing about the lives of innumerable individuals. They write and appeal for assistance, and there is scarcely a worthy undertaking of any kind that does not appeal to the President and his wife. No matter how hard I try, I could never meet every appeal for either personal charity or organized charity and civic work. The appeals to the President are so great that it has always seemed to me hardly fair to add to them, and so what I can earn has been a very great satisfaction. In addition, it has been valuable in teaching me how to work, as well as in giving me an opportunity to meet a percentage of the requests which are made. And now I believe we'll pause to listen to a few words from Mr. Grauer.
Thank you, Mrs. Roosevelt. Friends, the makers of Sweetheart Soap feel highly privileged to have arranged these visits with Mrs. Roosevelt for you. Be sure to listen regularly, and be sure to make friends with the product that's responsible for all of this, Sweetheart Soap. Pure, creamy white, with a delicate fragrance all its own, Sweetheart Soap has become one of America's most popular soaps. One person tells another, and as the good news spreads, more and more families change to Sweetheart Soap. It has actually won more than 5 million new users during the last 2 years alone. That's why we invite you to try it too, and let Sweetheart Soap speak for itself in your own home. And there's the signal. Mrs. Roosevelt is ready to talk to you again, so come in, Washington, D.C.
On a recent trip, the joy of seeing my daughter and her family stands out vividly. Just a year previous to this last visit, I was in Seattle to welcome her youngest child, John, into the world. And this year, I was able to be present at his first birthday celebration. He sat with us at the table in his high chair and was shown his birthday cake, which was made by Katie, who was with me many years before my daughter married, and took Katie to our new home with her. Katie can make angel cake with soft white icing better than anyone I know. The cake was decorated with 2 candles, and of course the baby was not allowed to touch them, so he looked at the cake with indifference until he was given a piece. He put his finger into the icing and then into his mouth. Then he grabbed the entire piece of cake, and like every other baby I've known, he tried to stuff the whole piece into his mouth at once, and smeared his face and hands with icing. He required the attention of his mother before he was cleaned up again. His sister and brother chuckled with glee as they watched this new sensation make its dent on a fresh personality. Older children in a family have such fun and learn so much when they have a younger member of the family to watch over. It requires wisdom, however, on the part of the parents to keep from creating a feeling of jealousy among the children, for it is easy to give more attention to the youngest child and create the feeling in the older children that they do not command the same interest and affection. I think I get the most tangible pleasure in the realization that my daughter and her husband have so much more wisdom than most of us had in my generation. It has been attained, of course, through considerable painful experience, but they have had the character to profit by their experience, And because they are happy and tolerant and anxious to learn, they spread peace and joy about them. My next thrill was an entirely different kind. 2 days spent in Yosemite Park. There was too much snow to drive up to the high mountains, and except for the green of the evergreen trees, there was very little sign of on any tree of spring's approach. I only saw one shrub in flower in the woods and no flowers. The beauty of this national park lies in its majestic rock formations and the innumerable waterfalls. Another vivid impression of this trip was the day spent in the camps of migratory workers. I have a great admiration for human beings who will not be downed by fate. Human beings who are trying to live up to standards which they've set for themselves, no matter what the surrounding circumstances may be. In the government camps for migratory workers, one particular point seemed to me of great importance, namely that the democratic processes of life were being so carefully stressed. Each unit elects its own members of the committee, and this committee sits as a governing board for the camp and makes the rules under which the camp lives, sees to it that inspections are made and order kept. This is really good practical training in democracy, and a fine lesson to the young people as well as to their elders in what it means to take part in the life of the community when you live on a democratic basis. Then the personal joy of a glimpse before I left California of our eldest son. The visit with him was not really long enough to be very satisfactory, but it is always heartwarming to have even a few hours with those you love. I spoke in many places where young people either arranged for the lecture or were present in the audience in fairly large numbers, and their faces as individuals and as groups stand out before me. No weaklings, this younger generation. Just as much courage and hope and determination in those faces as in the faces I remember in the other generations which I have seen grow up about me. Occasionally there is bewilderment or worry in their expressions, but we still see in the youth of today an absolute faith in their own ability to work out our destinies. A glimpse of Denver, Colorado in a snowstorm, really a blizzard, though it was early April, and the rapid transition afterwards to a most beautiful flower-bedecked room in the hotel in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Home again to find a world of accumulated detail to be dealt with. The housekeeper at the White House had her usual problems, which are bound to arise when so many human beings work together. The first week at home after a 3 weeks trip was filled with receptions, and the biggest reception of the year, the one for the Daughters of the American Revolution, was preceded by several hundred members of the Children of the American Revolution. The tiniest ones in this latter group were dressed in costumes of George Washington's day, and made me want to pick them up and hug them. I knew nothing of the kind must be done, however, for their costumes gave them a sense of great dignity which must not be disturbed. Much mail and many loose ends of obligations which had to be put off while I was away. Picking up the threads with friends in Washington and those who wished to come there, seeing people with particular interests which they wanted to bring to my attention, and finally an appeal from the housekeeper to please give her a few days when everyone would be away from the house so she could do certain special pieces of work. Not spring cleaning, for the White House is always being cleaned, but changing curtains and putting away winter draperies, covers, etc., which takes time, more time than can be found when the usual busy routine is carried on. Before closing, I want to mention that this coming week has been designated by the President as Employment Week. I had really intended to read his letter in full, in case you missed it in the newspapers, but I see that my time is almost up. I'll be sure to read it next time. And meanwhile, I will close with the hope that every woman will cooperate to the fullest extent in making the week beginning May 1st a successful National Employment Week.
Thank you, Mrs. Roosevelt. Ladies, there are 3 things to be sure of before you use any beauty soap. 1, is it pure? Will it agree with your skin? 2, does it cleanse thoroughly so it removes grime and old makeup completely? 3, is its fragrance fine and delicate, a perfume you can really like? Well, Sweetheart is one bath and beauty soap that can truthfully answer yes to these 3 questions. Since 1890, more and more careful shoppers have chosen Sweetheart soap for its purity, its wonderful thoroughness, its lovely, mild fragrance. In the last 2 years alone, more than 5 million people changed to Sweetheart soap. We invite you to try it, too. Ask your dealer for genuine Sweetheart soap. Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt comes to call again next Thursday at this same time, and the makers of Sweetheart Soap invite you to be her hostess. These programs will be heard every Tuesday and Thursday with the compliments of Sweetheart Toilet Soap, famous for over 50 years as the soap that agrees with your skin. And now it's goodbye until next Thursday when you'll again hear Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt's own program. This is Ben Grauer speaking.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Only 26 episodes of the program aired, which meant it ran 13 weeks because, that was twice weekly. Daily schedules and formal visits to the White House to discussions on democracy, national service, and the importance of home life as an incubator of democracy. Episode 25, she discussed the scope of the U.S. defense program, democracy, and her support for universal national service. As I said, the program ran up during 1940, in the run-up to her husband's second run for the presidency. And Sweetheart Soap sponsored the show. So there you go. From April 30th, 1940, and we only have I think we have 3 or 4 episodes of that. April 30th, 1940, 85 years ago, Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt's own program. Thank you for tuning in today to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll have comedies on our Thursday edition with Jack Benny, Father Knows Best, Screen Directors, Playhouse, Mr. Mr. Ace and Jane, and Lum and Abner. Thanks for being with us here. We'll be back tomorrow for more Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.